front foot for a very, very long time. And you look at it, and 4-2 flatters the Croatians to some extent, because England could have had 6 in the second half. So I think it's a great marker. It's a great start to the tournament. It's what the public will want to see. Tuchel is hiding his light behind a bushel, because I would imagine he was very strong in the dressing room at half-time to wake a few people up, because you saw it. They came out of the traps like men possessed.
Yeah.
You know, the perfect cure to a goal just before half-time is a goal directly after half-time. And that's exactly what England got.
I also thought as well, sorry, I know you've got to go to break.
No problem.
But you know, now you see so many managers say buzzwords.
Yeah.
And he's talking about being aggressive, being on the front foot. He actually means it, doesn't he? You get that sense of, oh, when he say we're on the front foot and be brave, if we make this mistake, it's on me. It's not on you, lads. So I think when a man...
talkSPORT. Sports updates brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
1 minute past 4. Good afternoon. A win tonight in Boston and Scotland are through. 11 p.m. kickoff against Morocco live on talkSPORT. Steve Clark says psychologically this game is very different to the Haiti opener.
Sometimes the Scottish psyche, the Scottish mentality is that we're a little bit more comfortable when we're the underdogs. We were the favourites against Haiti and we found the game a struggle, but we managed to win. This time we're the underdogs, and sometimes Scotland prefer it that way.
Another top Scottish manager, David Moyes, agrees the underdog tag could play into Scottish hands.
The pressure's off us a little bit not to expect so much possession, not to expect quite so much of the ball. It's if we can now defend our box well enough and try and sort of build on those moments in the game which might get us a chance to score.
Meanwhile, in the build-up, Morocco's preparations may have been affected by confirmation from French prosecutors that captain Achraf Hakimi will stand trial for rape. Hakimi is still set to lead out his side. Fabian Hertzler told talkSPORT he's backing Morocco to win. He also told White and Jordan he's pleased for Jean-Paul Van Hecke for his big money move to Spurs, as well as the £50 million profit Brighton are making.
It's not always nice to lose the best players, but we all convinced that we find the right solutions for that. I think Paul and also Tony, they did a great job, and again finding a player with a lot of potential and then selling him with a lot of profit.
And Brighton will kick off next season at home to Aston Villa 2 days after Arsenal take on Coventry at the Emirates to kick off the season. That's on Friday the 21st of August and it's live on talkSPORT. And at the Oval, a James Roux drop catch is costing England, who trail New Zealand by nearly 200 runs on day 3. The Black Caps are in charge on 94 for 2. Henry Nicholls is on 39. Rachin Ravindra, who was dropped by Roux on 7, is on 35.
talkSPORT News.
It's understood a toddler is seriously injured at a zoo in Cambridgeshire and was attacked by at least one crocodile. And there are fresh questions about Sir Keir Starmer's position after Andy Burnham won in Makerfield. More with Emma at 5:30.
talkSPORT weather, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners, delivered in the box, every time. Order now on the BK app.
The UK is almost split down the middle. A band of rain across Scotland, the northwest and Northern Ireland. Dry in the Midlands and the southeast. Temperatures high teens in Scotland, mid-20s in Northern England and pushing 30 in the south.
Good afternoon, 4 minutes past 4 o'clock, Friday, June the 19th. This is World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, and Jason Cundy. And I was thinking to myself, a bit like Conster and Stones, that's not partnership, Jason, you ever expected to hear.
Jeff, do you know what, matey? It's our debut together.
It is.
Right, okay, and it's a little bit like that at the back. We've got to make sure no mistakes, right, cover one another, no blame if something goes wrong, okay, if you're a seasoned pro. Okay, so if anything goes wrong, it's probably going to be me, but it's a pleasure to work with you because I've been watching you for decades.
Oh,
so it's a pleasure to sit.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
It is, Jeff. It is a compliment.
I tell you what I was a bit worried about was somebody coming in said to me, Are you the new O'Hara? Oh, my God, no! Please.
No, there is no other O'Hara, trust me. There is going to be no other O'Hara. There's only one of them.
Long may it continue that way.
Matey.
Yeah. So coming up today, we look ahead to Scotland's clash with Morocco tonight. It's live on talkSPORT at 11. Ahead of that, we'll get a flavour of the atmosphere in Boston with Shabana Hearn. We'll be taking a look at next season's Premier League fixture list. What do you make your sides? Opening games. And we'll take a look at a few of the players that have lit up the opening round of the World Cup fixtures with European football expert Kevin Hatchard. All that. Plus, Crookie brings us the latest from the England camp with what Rio had to say about his former teammate Cristiano Ronaldo. You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live. You can get involved on 0371722 3344. I was going to ignore the shirt, but I'll tell you what I wanted to mention, actually, Jace, before we talk about your shirt, was, sad person that I am, last night I was watching Canada against Qatar.
Yes.
Canada won't win the World Cup. But if there was a prize for the worst kit, the one they were wearing last night, black with dandruff freckles. I mean, for me, that's an outright winner, mate.
Well, there's so many shirts they've got to sell, right? They've got to shift them. And so every time a team or a club wears them, it goes on display. As we know, in the Premier League, the third kit, I believe they're contractually obliged to actually wear one of those kits at least once a season.
Are you contractually obliged to wear that then?
No, Jeff. No, this is the Moroccan shirt, and I had this on last night, and I got so many compliments about the fact that it brought the colour out of my eyes, and I thought, do you know what? I mean, here again, I'll just put it on again. What do you think? Does it bring the colour in my...
Yeah.
Can you see that?
It does, and it just escaped your mind that they were playing Scotland today. Yeah.
It did last night.
Yeah.
But I can't deny that today. It's just one of those things. And also, do you know what? It's breathable. It's warm out there. It's a little bit tight, I'm not gonna, but it's lovely and breathable. When
you shouldn't have got the child size, Jace.
I know. It's the only one I can find, Jeff. It's the only one there at the office. The only one there at the office, matey. But yes, looking forward to Scotland and Morocco later on.
Yeah, well, I am, and the entire Tartan Army is as well. The other thing about that game last night, by the way, the Canada-Qatar game, it just made me realise, we talked this yesterday, and you're going to disagree with me, 48 teams. I thought that game showed exactly why we don't need 48 teams. The World Cup would be no worse off if we didn't have a Qatar in it, or we didn't have a Bosnia in it, or we didn't have a Paraguay or a South Africa. You know, it would be no worse off, mate.
Do you know what? I was in that camp, Jeff, before the Cape Verde versus Spain game, and that game there made me realise that if the game is going to grow and we are going to see emerging nations come out from the shadows, that game there kind of proved it to me. Now, there is always going to be the side that you're banging on at, and I get that. There was also 2 red cards, and Qatar, for a lot of that game, were in it. South Africa, how they got a draw last night against Bosnia, I don't quite know, because they've been terrible. They could have gone to win it. I don't have a problem with them. More football, Jeff. I'm here for it. I'm here for more games. I love football, love the World Cup. My fear is, though, that in the next World Cup, we get to 64, or how many more they're going to increase it to.
Yeah. I mean, I asked Gabby yesterday, and you'll not be surprised to know he couldn't name 64 countries.
Oh, Jeff.
Let alone 64 that could be playing in the World Cup. So.
Well, OK. How long you got?
Yeah, well, we've got almost 3 hours, mate. Almost 3 hours. Look, Scotland back in action against Morocco tonight, and of course it's live right here on talkSPORT.
Obviously, we know the last 2 tournaments haven't gone the way that we wanted the tournament to go. We have another chance. It's great to be here, but we also want to do something special.
Getting off to a good start in the first game is hugely important against Haiti. And,
you know, playing for your country's that step above, and to do it at a World Cup is just a dream come true for all of us.
The waiting is over. Up to McGinn! Deflected in! It's Super John McGinn! It's Scotland's first goal at a World Cup for 28 years!
I'm nearly bawling my eyes out.
Scotland have returned to the World Cup with a win!
I've never been to a World Cup. I've waited 62 years to be at a World Cup. I've been in football 44 years. This for me is everything.
Van Diaz has passed his man, chips it in! Oh, it's a fabulous goal! Leon Ismail Sabani was at the edge of the box.
Yeah, Scotland looking to follow up their win against Haiti when they face Morocco tonight, live on talkSPORT. Kicks off at 11 o'clock. Of course, Fraser, Jock, thanks to your text, boys. Look, just ignore him. I told him before, and he was not allowed to wear that shirt. But I was, as usual.
Like I said, Jeff, it brings the colour. No, it compliments me, apparently.
Thank goodness somebody or something compliments you.
It does, Jeff?
Not many Scots are complimenting you, mate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a surprise, isn't it?
Well, do you know, they'll have their Ghana shirts on next week. Don't worry about that.
Well, Scotland boss Steve Clarke has been talking to the media. He said that Scotland are not worried about Morocco being the favourites for this one.
Against difficult opponents, like I said before, we have to be very good. We understand, but sometimes the Scottish psyche, the Scottish mentality is that we're a little bit more comfortable when we're the underdogs. We were the favourites against Haiti, and we found the game a struggle, but we managed to win. This time we're the underdogs, and sometimes Scotland prefer it that way.
Yeah, sometimes they prefer it that way. I remember being at the Euros and they were underdogs against Germany in the opening game, and that didn't turn out too well, did it?
No.
But I looked at some of the sides they've beaten since then, though, mate, Scotland. They've beaten Croatia and Poland and Greece and Denmark, and I wonder if they really are such big outsiders.
No, listen, this is the best version of Scotland we've seen in a long time, and Stevie Clarke has earned a new contract. This is a Scotland side you cannot take lightly. Look, it's going to be tough. I have Morocco favourites for obvious reasons. They are the best African side that we've seen, and whether they're African champions or not, we'll wait to see in the courts. But this is a very good Moroccan side. But this is a good Scotland team. Stevie Clarke will change his shape, Jeffy. There's no way.
What do you think he'll do?
I think he'll go 3 at the back. It depends whether he's going to pack midfield with a 5 and go 1 up top, whether he goes 3-4-3 or a version of that, 3-4-2-1 or something. He won't play 2 up top.
He'll play 1 up top.
And he's a pragmatist.
Yeah.
Naturally, that's who he is. So I expect, and do you know what? If they get a point here, they're through.
Yeah, I mean, that's the amazing thing, isn't it, about the way the World Cup pans out at the moment. What I thought after the first game was when they got... Look, they haven't got a big pool of players to pick from. So Ryan Christie, Premier League class performer, no question about it. And he's sitting twiddling his thumbs. I think Christie's got to start somewhere in that team tonight.
Yeah.
And I think probably they're going to leave Lawrence Shankland on the bench this evening and just go with Shea Adams up front.
That is an option of his, and Shankland's. You think about what he's done. He's earned his move up from Hearts to go to Rangers. He's a target man. He has choices, and I think what we've got to remember in this World Cup, this conversation about England, the starting 11 is only 11 that's going to play the game. You're going to have at least 3, 4, maybe 5 off the bench to change the game. So I think you can go a little bit more reserved in the middle of the park, and I think Stevie Clarke will do that. He's got options in there, but when you look at McGinn and McTominay, they're the two little bits of glitter that they've got, and they can still come up with a set piece. There's no reason why they can't get something out of this Moroccan game.
Yeah, they've got to keep the ball better. That's for sure. Haiti, they gave it away time and time again. You know.
Yeah.
So hold on to that ball a bit more. And one thing about Morocco is, they probably are the best team in Africa at the moment. I think some of the Senegalese would argue that point. Don't score that, but they're rock solid defensively. They don't score that many goals. So a point will do Scotland.
A point will do Scotland
very nicely.
And the boy Bouadi, who had a stonking game against Brazil, he looks like he's going to be turning a few heads in this. Well, he's already turned a few heads.
Yeah.
Look, Scotland can get someone at this game, and no doubt about it. I think they get beat. I genuinely think they're going to get beat, but there's a possibility they can get someone at this game.
Yeah, I reckon they can definitely get a point. Bouadi, just 18, by the way. Yeah. Look, we're taking your calls. How do Scotland get that point tonight? 03717 2233 44. 14 minutes past 4 o'clock. This is World Cup Game Day Live.
We're talking about that in great detail on yesterday's show about whether or not he should start, how much game time he should have. Because it's Cristiano Ronaldo, I think there's so much pressure on the manager, Roberto Martinez, to pick him, to start him, etc. What's your view on a situation like that? What do you do, Rio?
Well, Roberto Martinez is paid the money to make this decision, and I think it's the way that he handles that it will be key. I think if he was going to attempt to kind of take Cristiano Ronaldo out of the team, I think it's all about the narrative. I think it's all about approaching him and going, listen, if he thinks this is how I'll do it. We've got a better chance of winning it for you coming on with 30 minutes to go when the opposition are tired, when their limbs are all weary, lactic acid is building up in all these players' legs, and they see Cristiano Ronaldo warming up on the side, and you come on and terrorise them and capitalise on that in the latter stages of the games. Do you think anyone's going to be bothered when you lift that trophy as our captain? No. So here we go. You're going to start some games, but then some you're not going to start, but that's part of the plan. And at 41 years old, I'm sure that Cristiano would understand that because, listen, we all know, Benny, you're the same. When we were getting older, things weren't working as quickly, as smoothly as they once were. But there's no denying the guy's potent. When the ball drops in the box, if you had three players to the top 3 players in the world for the ball to drop to, he'd be one of the guys you wanted to drop to even still now because he's that potent. He's got almost 1,000 goals. But listen, if it was down to me, I think I would take that same approach I just mentioned there. I'd pull him in and out of games depending on the opponents. And I just have to make sure that I talk to him and make sure he understands that. But one thing I would say when I watched him, I think a lot of blame and a lot of people are pointing the finger at Cristiano. I don't think the actual service into him was great either, by the way, or an opportunity to put his way often. I saw quite a few options to play the ball forward, didn't take them options up. And I think if you're going to have him in your team, you've got to find him as often as you can. And they've got great players who can do that.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Minutes past 4 o'clock. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, and Jason Cundy. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app. Just got to say hello to a mate of mine because it's a big weekend for him. Sam Ryder.
Yes.
You all know Sam Ryder?
Oh, no,
yeah?
Sam Ryder.
Well, he opens at the London Palladium tomorrow night in Jesus Christ.
Break a leg.
Well, it's not a leg he's worried about break. At the moment, he says he's practising getting crucified this afternoon.
Oh.
So no.
That sounds fun, does it?
Not a lot.
Is that for work?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. Sam's a great boy, and he's going to be absolutely fantastic. He's got the perfect looks to play G.
He does, doesn't he? Yes.
Absolutely the
I can
perfect.
see why he got the part.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, still to come, we'll be discussing some players who caught the eye at the World Cup with European football expert Kevin Hatchard. Now day 3 of the second test with England and New Zealand at the Oval. Big uphill struggle at the moment for England. Watching for talkSPORT is Sam Ellard. How are we doing, Sam?
Not good, Jeff. Not good. There's lots of work for England to do in this evening session to try and get themselves back into this Test match. It is 124 for 2 on New Zealand in the third innings of the games. That's with a lead of 224 runs. Just seen a half-century for New Zealand's number 3. Henry Nicholls has played nicely. He's got to 50 off 72 balls. Good innings. He only came into the team on short notice after the first Test when Kane Williamson retired. A bit of luck for him on 38. A bouncer from Jofra Archer, and the batter trying to hook the ball, almost helped the ball on its way, came off the glove. James Rew on debut, diving to his right-hand side, tough chance, dropping the catch. In the afternoon session, though, a more simpler chance for James Rew. Rachin Ravindra on 7, looking to drive the ball through the offside, took the outside edge, and Rew diving to his left-hand side, put that one down. He really should have taken that one. Rachin Ravindra and Henry Nicholls are punishing that drop, because this partnership now for the third wicket is worth 96 runs. England had New Zealand 28 for 2. Early wickets for Archer and Tongue, Latham and Conway going cheaply, but New Zealand are piling on the runs, and that lead is now well over 200. New Zealand 124 for 2, leading on day 3 in the evening session by 224 runs, Jeff.
Thanks very much indeed, Sam. Let's get an update from the US Open Golf Round 2 at the moment. Matt Fitzpatrick doing the best of the home contingent, if you like, or at least he was. Is that still the case? Let's find out from talkSPORT's Gabby Partington. Afternoon, Gabby.
Afternoon. Yeah, you are right, Jeff. Matt Fitzpatrick today made 10 straight pars, but unfortunately back-to-back bogeys on 11 and 12. So he's dropped down to 1 under for the championship, 4 shots off the lead. There are a few low ones out there today. Low ones, obviously, for US Open standards, of course. Colin Morikawa is the player who is on fire at 4 under for his round today, part of a big group I mentioned at 1 under par for the championship. That also includes Rory McIlroy and Ludvig Åberg, who both tee off just after 7 p.m. UK time, so that is to come. I mentioned earlier, Jeff, that Joaquin Niemann, he became the first player to be penalised due to a new code of conduct policy. That was introduced for the majors this year. Just a quick recap. He threw his club after making a 9 on the par 4 6th yesterday, and that was later turned into an 11. But Niemann, he's made quite the recovery today. He's picked up 5 shots in his opening 6 holes and is back to 4 over for the championship. So the cut line currently hovering around the 3 over mark, so still a bit more work for him to do if he's going to guarantee some weekend golf. At the other end of the leaderboard, though, Dustin Johnson, he briefly got to 4 under with his birdie at 10, moving to within 1 of leader Wyndham Clark. But golf, as we know, can turn quickly, as the Americans just made double at the 11th, dropping back to 2 under. So Wyndham Clark once again has a 3-shot lead at 5 under par.
Thank goodness I don't get a 2-shot penalty, Jason, every time I throw my club.
Do you play golf, Jeff?
Yeah.
I don't play golf, mate.
Don't you?
No.
I'm not very good, but I'm sort of 18 handicapper and things. But seriously, everybody I know throws their clubs, especially when they've had a 9 or a 10.
You can do that. No one's watching. No one cares.
Yeah.
When you're in front of the world's media, right? You've got to have some. It's like they call it racket violation, right? In tennis.
Yeah.
Don't throw your club. Could hurt someone, Jeff. Couldn't you?
Depends how far. I don't think you threw it into the crowd.
Well, no, but you might. You throw something, all of a sudden you lose your grip and it hits someone in the head.
Yeah.
Health and safety, they're all over it, Jeff.
I'm not so sure about this. It's too much in the slap. We like bad boys.
We do.
Look at McEnroe, for goodness sake. You brought tennis up.
Yes.
And McEnroe was the ultimate bad boy.
He was. And every now and then that pops up on my feed. Okay, there that you cannot be serious. It is iconic, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But now you watch him on TV, he's very different. He's so articulate. He's not how I thought he was when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah. When I was a Suck Cub reporter, in my 20s anyway, I was sent to interview John McEnroe, and he clearly didn't want to be doing any interviews at the time. He was the rudest, most unpleasant interviewee ever. And yet, after his playing days, as has happened in a lot of cases, by the way, he's poacher turned gamekeeper. He's gone on to be a commentator, and he's brilliant. He's absolutely
Do you know what
brilliant.
I'd like to see? I'd like to see John McEnroe commentate on a Premier League game. I would.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him alongside Gary Neville.
Brilliant.
The way he articulates things, he simplifies things, but he uses, such. Obviously, his background since he could walk. But I'd like to see that as a trial. Maybe Sky should do it on talkSPORT. Get on that talkSPORT.
Yeah.
Get him alongside Adrian Durham. There you go, John McEnroe.
Never get a word in edgeways, would he, alongside Adrian? Look, let's just touch on the Premier League for a moment or two. Brighton boss Fabian Herzl has been talking to White and Jordan earlier. He's been asked whether he was happy with Jan-Paul van Hecker after he sealed his move to Tottenham.
Very pleased. I think Jean-Paul has been outstanding for us. So he developed into one of the best centre-backs in the league through hard work, through consistency and through a fantastic mentality. And and we as a club, we are grateful for everything he gave to Brighton. And of course, we will miss him. While we'll miss him, we wish him all the best for him, for his career, and of course also for his family.
What do you think, Jason, from a Spurs point of view? First of all, goodbye.
Well, they had to do something, didn't they? Leaking goals the last 2 seasons. You can't be in a relegation battle if you're Spurs. And the biggest problem they had was conceding goals. And they're rectifying that. They've signed Robertson. Okay. Yeah. Then Hecker has come in, and the free transfer.
Senesi.
And so they've gone back. What's our biggest problem? Conceding goals. Let's make sure that so they've started at the back and they build. I like him. It's a lot of money for a lad that's got a year left in his contract.
Yeah,
Brighton do unbelievable business.
Yeah, he's a good footballer though, isn't he? He's comfortable on the ball.
It is, but for someone who's got a year on their contract to get over 50 million for him, that's some going. By the way, Brighton they drive a hard bargain down there, but Spurs need someone of that quality.
I think they've still got a couple of priorities, Tottenham, haven't they? I mean, I do think, even though the boy went in goal at the end of last season, did really well, I don't think you can start the next Premier League season with him personally, and I do think they need somebody who can give them a bit more oomph up front as well.
I think they're probably, I don't know what the story's going to be with Richarlison. That has been a problem for them. I think they need to go and sign another striker.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think that's probably where they're going to go. The goalkeeping situation's really interesting, actually, because the boy that came in, Slipsky, came in. He had that absolute nightmare, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Athletic. But actually, what impressed me the most is how he come out of that.
Oh, shot a lot.
Because that was such a terrible 20 minutes, 18 minutes, whatever it was for him, and he got dragged. But to come out of that and still putting a performance towards the end, he made one save against Leeds. Do you remember that? Who was that come through the middle, left midfield? I can't remember. Unbelievable save. Went onto the crossbar really late on. One of those saves, almost like because they kept Spurs in the Premier League.
Now, look, he came back brilliantly. He showed a lot of guts, a lot of courage as well. I'm just not sure that I'd want to be starting a new Premier League season with him as my number one.
He's number two. He's a number two goalkeeper.
He's a number two. He's a kid as well.
Yeah.
At the moment for Brighton now, got to keep pulling rabbits out of the hats because they're getting the money in, but they've got to keep finding adequate replacements.
Yeah. If you're Hertzler, you have got to trust the way that club is run. And he's saying they're good luck to him, and he will understand. But like I said, 50 million for someone who's got a year left on his contract. That's unbelievable business. It's a lot of money. Normally you can drive the deal down, but Brighton, they're the best at it.
Fraser's just texted. He says, I hope tonight's the most boring game of football I've ever watched. Hopefully Scotland choke the game out and keep Morocco at bay. Maybe nick a late goal, but we need to defend and be solid before anything else. Hey, Fraser, I'm staying out of bed to watch this, mate. I don't want them to be choking the life out of the game.
No, I'll be staying up watching it. It doesn't matter how you win it. There's football snobs out there. It's all about the result. Who cares if Scotland stink the place out as long as the result goes their way? If they stink the joint out and don't get the result, then Scotland fans will have something to say.
Yeah, absolutely. What time is it? 28 minutes past 4 o'clock. Still to come. We'll be discussing the Premier League fixtures, which were released earlier today. But first, it's time for a bit of no Googling. So we want to know, in the first no Googling of the day, who is the oldest manager to win a World Cup? Oldest manager to win a World Cup. You got any ideas, Jason?
How old was Sir Alf? He didn't look young, did he?
Yeah, not as old as this bloke.
No, he's not as old. No. Right, okay.
We
know him. It's not like someone that won it back in 1934.
No.
Okay, fine.
No, he's won it this century.
Okay, all right, okay. All right.
We'll give you a couple of minutes to think about it. It's very nearly 6:29. This is World Cup Game Day Live.
Well, we're talking about Arsenal because the press are talking about Arsenal.
Squeezed Arsenal into a World Cup show.
You're about to hear. Are you Arsenal in disguise? In the Daily Mail. Yeah, we're going there. We're going there.
Who's written that? Is that you? Is that by Laura Coke Francis?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's my first line in the Daily
well
Mail.
Done. Congratulations.
The Nation joins Gunners fans in praise of Rice's corners.
Oh, come on. This is... Benty and I were out hobnobbing with the Rich and Famous last night, or maybe Rich and Shameless, and we were talking to Piers Morgan.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And he asked the same question about Declan Rice's corners, and I'm like, he's just taking the corner, the fella.
Mate, no.
I love Declan. You know that.
Hey,
but unless you've got Harry Kane running onto it, a corner's only as good as the finish.
No, look at Arsenal doing all season, and people have criticised us for that.
You just bullied goalkeepers, just smashed goalkeepers out of the way.
That's so right. So the hypocrisy here is loud and clear. In the Daily Mail, which I've just messed up there, they're calling it dark arts in praise of the dark arts that England have employed at corners, which we've been very vocal about.
We're not doing those corners at the World Cup.
Yeah,
Declan's doing outswingers.
Did you see the amount? So do Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm saying, but when it's an in-swing, everyone's smashing into keep. These are outswings. Harry Kane's running onto them.
Now, all the blocks, I saw the blocks the other night, England.
Yeah, so just to be clear, corner's good, but corner's not good when Arsenal do it. In-swing are good, outswing are bad.
Unless Harry Kane's on the end of them,
So, safe to say, according to you, and I think I speak on behalf of Arsenal Nation here, I'm not allowing you to enjoy us having corners, if that's all right. So as far as you're concerned, it was 3-2.
I'll speak on
right?
the rest of the nation,
Please
right? And I don't like your attitude.
I love it.
Yeah, I the hypocrisy.
No, here's what's going to happen. Yep. So you, of course, won't remember, and neither will I, but in 1966, when England won the World Cup, right? Jeff Hurst scored 3 and Martin Peters scored the other one, and Bobby Moore lifted it. And West Ham, for years, were like, West Ham won the World Cup. And this is exactly what you're doing now with Arsenal.
It is exactly what we're doing.
Right.
But
Declan Rice took a corner. Now, I love Declan, so I don't want to say this, but out of...
History back into Scotland tonight in Boston. A win against Morocco takes them into the World Cup knockouts for the first time ever. And Captain Andy Robertson says they have the best fans in the world.
They just carry themselves so well, and I think just every city they go in and every people they meet, they just fall in love with them, and that's the biggest compliment I can give them. But, you know, on Saturday they were magnificent for us in the stadium as well, and I know they'll be the same again.
Much to Jim White's dismay, though, Fabian Hurtzler's backing Morocco.
I think that they have really good togetherness in their squad. They played really good AFCON, and now I think they're ranked 7th in the FIFA world ranking list, so I think we have to take them serious, and I'm really impressed by them.
Achraf Hakimi is expected to lead out his team later. Today, French prosecutors have confirmed he will stand trial for rape for an allegation in 2023. Elsewhere, Mary Earps has signed for London City Lionesses, and England winger Emmanuel Faye-Rebozo will start for Exeter in tomorrow's Gallagher Prem final versus Northampton Saints. He's returned less than 3 weeks after jaw surgery after an injury against Leicester Tigers.
4:35, Friday, June the 19th. Glorious Friday as well at the moment. You're listening to World Cup Game Day on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling. Jason Cundy's with us right through until 7. Still to come, we'll be discussing the Premier League fixtures released earlier today. But a few moments ago, we brought you the first of today's no Googling questions. We asked, who's the oldest man to win a World Cup? And we were scratching our heads.
Yeah, I didn't know the answer. But one thing that you told me, Jeff, which I'm absolutely shocked at, is the age of Ancelotti. Now, I've done him a disservice.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was into his 70s.
Me too.
It's not, is he?
No, he's 67.
Yeah. I mean, had I thought about it long enough, maybe I'd have got there, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
Think of some of the jobs he's had. High-pressure jobs, mate, I'll tell you what. They look like they've taken their toll a bit. The answer was Vicente Del Bosque for Spain in 2010, and he was 59 years and 200 days. But you know what? If Spain win this World Cup, that answer will not be correct anymore because Luis de la Fuente, their manager, is 64.
Okay.
So he'll become the oldest to win the World Cup.
Right, okay. They've got to improve what I saw against Cape Verde.
Yeah. First games improve. Can be misleading.
They can be a little bit misleading. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were terrible, though.
Oh, they were. And Cape Verde were fantastic. The way they defended, man.
I know.
That was
brilliant. Fair play to them.
Yeah, and that shoots down my argument a bit. Being fueled.
Do you know what, Jeff? When that full-time whistle went, I got quite emotional, actually, because they had 5 minutes of injury time to deal with, and they hung on. Because normally
the goalkeeper, mate.
Oh, mate. He had the game of his life.
Yeah.
Well done, him. Yeah.
It was
great
brilliant.
Story.
And it was brilliant. He was very emotional at the end as well.
Yeah, understandably so. Yeah.
Right, time to slide into Game Day with Burger King, which means it's time for this.
Sliding into Game Day on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Drive worldwide. Why?
Hi, this is Drive Worldwide as we slide into Game Day with Burger King. We'll discuss 3 key talking points ahead of all of the action. And joining us now to do just that, our World Cup expert, Kevin Hatchard. Hi, Kev.
Hi, Kev.
How are we, chaps? You well?
Yeah, really good, thanks, mate. Really good. You?
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Very good. It's like Christmas for me.
Well, it is, and the presents keep coming and coming and coming, don't they? Mind you, there are a couple of duff ones in there, and you know, like when you get the pair of socks or the underpants from some granny.
A pair of socks, Jeff, for Christmas. Honestly, you always need a new pair of socks.
Yeah, but you
Bosnia,
don't...
Switzerland was the pants for a while.
I was going to say, one thing I know, Cundy does not need the pants.
No, I don't.
Because I've heard the discussion. No. I've heard that it's not a pleasant thought, even at this time of the evening, but anyway.
No, don't buy me pants.
Look, let's start with Morocco, shall we? Morocco in action again against Scotland. A lot of talk about the sort of 18-year-old sensation, Aya Bouadi. Brilliant against Brazil in the opener, being linked with Arsenal, PSG, Real Madrid. I mean, there's going to be a long queue, isn't there, Kev?
Yeah, I think there is. And this is somebody who played very well at club level for Lille this season. He's been playing for Lille since he was 16. And he didn't look out of place. I think that was the most extraordinary thing when you think of the amount of responsibility that there is in that position at the heart of midfield against Brazil. And yet he performed as if he had 100 caps. You know, he was taking people on in his own defensive thirds. Most touches for Morocco, most passes for Morocco. He was winning challenges as well. I mean, Casemiro got the hook at half-time. It's an absolutely amazing performance. And really, Morocco, I think, came away from that game with Brazil thinking they could have won it.
Indeed, he's not the only one, is he, though, that's caught the attention. The Diomande, I know you and I spoke about him. He's been doing lots of good things. I've watched clips of him, heard your commentary on him when he's at Leipzig. There's a number of these young kids that are coming out, but PSG can't get them all. You know, they're linked with Diomande as well. Yeah.
They'll try. Diomande is incredible. I mean, I get it that people will look and think, well, how does a guy who's only had one Bundesliga season and a handful of appearances in La Liga for Leganés, how does he suddenly cost potentially 120 million euro? Well, firstly, Leipzig don't want to sell. And as we know, historically, they drive a hard bargain. You could see that with all manner of players that they've sold down the years. But he is very special. You know, it's not just the fact that he's quick and skillful. He's got an incredible work rate. And he seems to really step up and deliver in the big games. And I thought the way that he ran it in Capié against Ecuador was very impressive. When he switched to the other flank, he was dangerous as well. And this is a guy that I think he's so eager to prove that he belongs on the world stage and belongs at a top club. And he's been very, very impressive. Second youngest player ever to get a Bundesliga hat-trick.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
I mean, if he's costing 120 million euros, then, I mean, how much would Lille want for Bouhaddi if they're accepting he's going to go?
Yeah, I don't think that much in terms of what we're talking about with Diomande. And Lille, to an extent, are used to this dance as well because they've sold top players to clubs before. Their youth academy is one of the best around. So they'll drive a hard bargain too, but I wouldn't have thought it would be the same kind of level that you'd see for Diomande. The thing that's really interesting about Diomande, I guess, is that Leipzig tend to do this. They tend to say to their players, look, we'd like one more year. You can have improved terms. We'll give you better wages. And then we promise we'll let you go in a year for a decent amount of money that suits everyone. That's probably where they're at. But I think Diamande's been so good in that first year for Leipzig that it's kind of caught them by surprise a little bit. And they're having to make this decision a bit more early than they would have previously.
Kev, let's move on. Last night, Switzerland beat Bosnia 4-1. 20-year-old Johan Manzambi came off the bench to score twice. I've got to be honest, I'd turned off by then because it was awful. It was awful.
Come to life again.
Yeah, it did come to life. Typical once I'd turned off, yeah. Did his performance surprise you? You've seen plenty of him.
For the one, yeah, it was the reward, Jeff, for the ones that dug in and saw it through. That's the thing. I did see it coming. I thought he'd play well in one of the games, at least one of the games, because this is a guy that has really come to the fore at Freiburg this season. So he's still only 20. If I tell you he's the most fouled player in the Bundesliga, that tells you a lot, because he's a guy that loves to carry the ball, and he's a guy that people generally find the only way to stop him is to kick him. And so that's been the case this season. He was a huge player for Freiburg in getting to that Europa League final. Yes, it didn't work out for them in the final, but it was an excellent run for them. And Yakin, the coach of Switzerland, is still being very, very careful with him. He's saying, look, he's very raw. He's very instinctive. He doesn't always do what he's told in terms of, when to pass, when to make the run, where he might lose the ball. But he showed his talent. He was exceptional. And I thought Ruben Vargas as well, when he came on, they really changed the game for Switzerland, because they were going nowhere really until Manzambi and Vargas came on.
We're talking about the bright young things here. Manzambi there, of course, Bouhaddi, and of course Diomande. Is there anyone else other than Lamine Yamal? We know about him. Is there anyone else that you think could be back page news that we're going to be talking about, a potential move? Is there any other young bright things?
Yeah, I think there'll be quite a few, to be honest. I think there'll be, some really exciting players. I mean, there's another one actually in the Ivory Coast lineup, Bazumana Touré, who is mega, mega quick. He's nowhere near as good an all-round package as Diomande just yet, but he's got pace to burn, and he had a breakout season with Hoffenheim, was really impressive. There are parts of his game he could definitely work on in terms of he could score more. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see him be a bit more refined in front of goal. But he's a really good kid. Like, you listen to the way the Hoffenheim players and the Ivory Coast players talk about him. Really good teammate, really infectious enthusiasm. And I think he's a player that Premier League clubs will definitely be keeping an eye on.
Let's move on to Brazil, shall we, Kev? They face Haiti tonight. Came in for a bit of flack after that 1-1 draw against Morocco, and no one came in for more flack, really, than Casemiro. Hooked, as you said. Look, he's Ancelotti's man, isn't he, really? Is there any chance that he'll be left out tonight?
I think the thing is that he's the extended arm of Ancelotti. He's very much the lieutenant out there. He's the one that interprets the kind of tactical instructions. And if you look at Ancelotti, he's always generally respected talent and experience. I think there's probably also a knowledge from Ancelotti that he let him down to some extent, because the big problem I think Brazil have is that they've been trying to cram too many attacking talents into the lineup. He's been experimenting for quite some time with a 4-2-4. Paquetá was in there as a kind of third midfielder, but there were big, big open spaces for Morocco to exploit in that first game. And that's going to have to be fixed. Now, Ancelotti's been very calm about it. He's been trying to dampen down all the furore about that performance. But I think they're definitely going to have to make changes. I wouldn't expect Igor Thiago to start necessarily. I think Mateus Cunha will probably start in that centre-forwards role. But yeah, I think it's caused quite a lot of controversy the way they've started in Brazil and just how disjointed the performance was. And this has been coming. I mean, they were poor in qualifying before Ancelotti even got anywhere near them, and they haven't looked convincing in the warm-up games. So he's got a lot to fix.
Brilliant, Kev. Continue enjoying
Cheers,
it, mate.
Kev.
Cheers, guys.
Top man.
Cheers. You see the Haiti, by the way, and you might have heard all this before. One home-based player they've got. 16 of their squad were born abroad. They haven't played a home game in 5 years.
No, I did know that, yeah.
And the coach has never stepped foot in Haiti.
Yeah, because of it's a war-torn country, right? There's all sorts going on there. To get where they are and done what they've done, it's quite remarkable.
Yeah.
It's quite remarkable, actually. And listen, this is the stiffest test. I mean, the greatest side ever in world football, Brazil. Good luck to them, but I can't. I think Brazil turn it on tonight, Jeff.
Yeah. I think Haiti, we've probably seen the best of them. Yeah. Sometimes, the smaller nations come in.
Yeah.
And they give it their best in the first game. They can't quite reproduce.
No, and Brazil need a rocket as well.
Yeah,
they know they let everyone down in that first performance against Morocco.
By the way, I was talking to Wes Morgan a few weeks ago, the other Leicester City captain, and he was saying he'd actually played an international in Haiti.
Right.
And he said it's easy to understand why they don't play there anymore. He said it's one of the scariest places that he'd ever been in his life. Well, that was a look at some of the day's key talking points, all thanks to Burger King.
Sliding into game day on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
A big race at Royal Ascot this afternoon, the Coronation Stakes, won by the odds-on favourite Precise. The Aidan O'Brien Roadshow just rolls on and on and on. 4:46, you're watching or you're listening to, maybe both, World Cup Game Day Live. Talking about Jude Bellingham, because of his talent, because of his ability, Kyle, he's often the focus of attention, isn't he? I mean, tell us, you've been in the same dressing room as him. What's he like as a person?
No, he's good, and I think he carries a lot of weight on his shoulders for such a young boy. I think people probably forget how young he is. Obviously, he's gone on from leaps and bounds from Birmingham City to Dortmund to now playing for, one of, if not the biggest clubs in the world. But I was saying it before, I think Morgan Rogers is a great player. I played with him at City. He's done unbelievable for Villa. But I just think in them moments, Jude Bellingham probably pips him just because of the big game moments, and last night proved that.
Yeah. How good is he? Because you've been in training with him, you played with him. Because when we watch him, I just see someone who can score left foot, right foot. I see someone who can get box to box, good in the air. Looks like a complete player.
Yeah, I think, he's an all-rounder. He can tackle, he can defend, he can attack, he scores goals. As you just said, left, right foot, he's got an engine on him. Is he a silky number 10 that we're probably used to seeing in the Premier League? Probably not. He's more of a powerhouse, but, in these conditions that they're playing the World Cup in like this, it could work to our advantage with having him, Declan and, Anderson, that all have good engines on them and then can get up and down the pitch.
Mm. Does it ever get to him, the sort of criticism that he gets, the media attention that he gets?
I think probably it does. I think probably it does some way, but I don't think you can let it get to you. I think when you're a big football player like that with a name that you've got, obviously you're going to hear and you're going to see. People are going to tell you what people are saying, but you have to take that pressure. You're Jude Bellingham. You're Jude Bellingham, and you've got that pressure on your shoulder. You're playing for Real Madrid and also representing England in a number 10 jersey, so you've got to deal with it.
We've seen a few more.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
And 9 minutes away from 5 o'clock. It's a glorious Friday evening, June the 19th. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, Jason Cundy. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Still to come, we'll be asking if you're happy with your side's opening Premier League fixtures. But right now, day 3 of the second test between England and New Zealand at the Oval. And at the moment, New Zealand are building a match-winning position. This is a massive uphill struggle for England. Sam Ellard.
Yeah, not good. The lead now for New Zealand, 251 runs, and they are 2 down. So 151 for 2. A pair of fours a short while ago for Rachin Ravindra. That's his 50. He drives Josh Tung's first delivery of the over through the covers, and then 3 balls later brings up the half century by crashing the ball past point. It comes off 79 deliveries. He's averaging 54 in tests since the start of 2024. Only 2 batters in the world since then. 2.5 years in that time have averaged more than him. He's a top player, and he's looking in good touch. He got fortunate early on in his innings when he was dropped on 7. Henry Nicholls at the other end has also passed 50. He's on 70. He was dropped on 38 by James Rew, although that was a pretty tough chance, driving to his right-hand side after gloving a short ball from Jofra Archer. And yeah, these two now are just looking in complete control. The problem England have got is they didn't pick a spinner as Henry Nicholls comes down the track and smashes Joe Rew back down the ground, and he gets 4. The problem is, there's no Ben Stokes, so they've gone with 4 seamers, and they're now relying on the part-time spin of Joe Rew. Why England didn't pick a spinner at this venue, given the weather, I've got absolutely no idea. It's baking hot conditions. England have got Ray and Armour. They had a genuine all-rounder to come in and replace Ben Stokes. I wish they picked a spinner, because these two of the creeks against pace are looking super comfortable. The score now, 156 for 2. That's the lead of 256 runs.
Paying the price, Sam. That is for sure. England going to face a massive target in that test match. Right, let's pop off to the US Open golf, shall we? Shinnecock Hills. Watching for talkSPORT is Gabby Partington.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Well, Wyndham Clark remains the man to beat at the minute. He's missed a fair few birdie putts today, to be fair, but he has made his first birdie of round 2 after sinking a 5-footer after a wonderful approach on 12, then backed that one up with a lengthy putt for birdie on 13. So the 2023 champion has a 4-shot lead at 7 under par. Closest challenger being fellow American in Xander Schauffele. Elsewhere, there's a big group of notable names at 1 under par. Matt Fitzpatrick, Justin Rose, to name a few. And it's gone from bad to worse for Dustin Johnson, who's followed a double with 2 straight bogeys. He was at 4 under par starting his back 9, back to level for the championship alongside Jon Rahm, who isn't having the best time out there either. 3 bogeys on his front 9, level for the championship, as I mentioned. But the main story is Wyndham Clark is getting better and better. He's looking dangerous out there. He arrived here, of course, in excellent form, a win, a 3rd place finish, and then a tie for 11th at the Canadian Open last week, which quite clearly carried into this week, his form. So Clark leads by 4.
Gabby, thanks very much indeed. Watching yesterday, by the way. I know you're not a golfer, mate, but Dustin Johnson and then Bryson DeChambeau both drove over 400 yards. I mean, seriously.
It's a long way.
That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's one of those sports, they've got to do something about the technology. They've got to do something to hold it back because it means you're driving.
What, you're saying the drivers are getting better and better?
Yeah, the technology's so
Do
good
they use
now.
wood anymore or not? Is that
No.
It's just there's no such thing as a wood now.
No, it's not made of wood. No, I mean, people still call them wood.
Right, okay.
But they're not made of wood.
Right, okay.
Maybe that's what we should do. Go back to using woods that were made of.
Okay.
Something's got to happen because you're driving par fours, decent distant par fours as well. Crazy. Okay, time to take a look at the latest odds with Bet365.
On the ball on talkSPORT with Bet365. Check out more offers than ever before this summer. Head over to Bet365 and see why it's never ordinary. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And Steve Freeth from Bet365 joins us now. Afternoon, Steve.
All right, Steve-o.
Afternoon, boys.
Hey, look, mate, I was talking earlier on about Scotland against Morocco, and Scotland have had some decent scalps in the last couple of years. Are they maybe a bit overpriced for this?
Yeah, they're touching 5-1, Jeff. So some people will think, why not? They've got the first World Cup win on the board. Why not a second one? But I think those of us who watch Morocco, and I have to say Morocco were the best side that I've seen, around the first round of matches, impressed me mightily. And they are 4-6 favourites to win tonight. It is looking good, though, Jeff, for Scotland to qualify. They're 2-9 to do that. They're still 6-1 to win the group, but it's a big step up in class from Haiti. I thought they were slightly fortunate with that. I know John McGinn had a fairly lucky strike to go, and he's 4-1 or to score or assist tonight, and 8-1 to be player of the match. And of course, Scott McTominay, he's 20-1 to score with the header. I'll just talk about Morocco just quickly. That Brahim Diaz through ball to Sabiri was absolutely first class, and he's 11-2 to score first tonight, Sabiri, and he's actually 80-1 to get a hat-trick. So it's a game I'm really looking forward to, and I'm sure Jace is as well, looking resplendent in his Morocco shirt there.
I fancy Morocco, Steve-o. I also fancy Morocco, Brazil. Look, this is not, I'm not sticking my neck out here. Brazil, disappointing against Morocco. I thought Morocco actually edged it over the 90 minutes. But listen, the World Cup gets underway live here on talkSPORT tomorrow morning. It's a game they'll win, surely.
Would you trust them at 1-10?
I wouldn't put any money on it, but listen, but 1-10, what's the point? What's the point? But Haiti, look, they were a little bit unlucky not to get something out of the game as well against Brazil. But I just get the feeling that, listen, you've limped into the tournament. Now, come on, turn it on.
Yeah, I think so. It depends on the team, doesn't it? I mean, Casemiro actually played the last time that they played Haiti, and they beat them 7-1 in that game. Marquinhos played in that game, and Alisson was actually in goal in that game also. Incidentally, Johnny Placida also was in goal for Haiti, and he conceded 7 that day. He's 18-1 to keep a clean sheet tonight. But they're 1-10. It's not for me, I have to say. But that isn't the shortest price. We've seen Spain at 1-16, Jace.
Yeah.
An absolute cropper, so let's not write him off just yet.
Just a quick word. One of the host nations, USA in action against Australia. I'm guessing that Pochettino's side, pretty warm favourites, are they?
Yeah, they are, yeah. I want to see if Pulisic is fit, Jeff. But they're 8-13 to win, with Australia around 4-1. I'll tell you what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to watch this game. I think it might be a little bit feisty, I think the friendly they had last year was very feisty indeed. We're 100-1 about a red card for each side. Watch out for that one, Jeff.
Yeah, well, there have been a few, haven't there, so far, Steve? That's for sure. Steve, thanks very much indeed.
Cheers, Steve-o.
Cheers, lads.
And those are the latest odds with Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Get 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
On the ball on talkSPORT with Bet365. Get your money back in free bets if your bet builder doesn't come in on every England game. Max free bet varies per customer. Bet restrictions and T's and C's apply. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Premier League fixtures released today. When we come back, we'll be talking about that. You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live.
Berry, I've got to speak to you about England then. Obviously, of course, the result the other day. Really good second half performance. First and foremost, what did you make of the performance? And some people are saying it's the best half of football they've seen England play in years.
Well, what I was really impressed with, there's two things. The turnaround in the second half, and you saw Harry Kane, Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham all come out speaking glowingly about the manager's team talk at half-time. So that's an absolute massive, massive, massive plus, because a manager that's very aggressive, he's punchy, and he ain't going to go out trying to stay in a game. He's going to go out trying to win a game, and if it doesn't happen, he ain't going to be for the want of trying. And the second thing is, he's aggressive substitutions and really decisive substitutions in the second half late on, where normally you see a lot of managers go, we're going to protect this lead. He's saying, no, I've got my foot on their throat and we're going to finish them off. And I love that. And if that's going to be the way we go about this tournament, we're going to have a good time.
I totally agree with you. I said that actually. Do you think that's the difference between what Southgate would have done and maybe bring on like a Calvin Phillips, a holder, to make sure we didn't lose the game?
Yeah, Southgate and a lot of other managers have done that. And I think that was probably when you're looking back now, it's a great thing having hindsight, but our Achilles heel probably, even though we've got further than any team since '66 in these last couple of tournaments, we still were playing at times, it felt, with the shackles on or the handbrake half up in the critical moments, in the biggest moments for England in these big games. And so with that comes kind of apprehension and a bit of anxiousness when you're watching those games, right? And Benty, you've been in them England squads, yeah? A lot of the guys in them teams, and as a unit, as a team, as well as individuals, we were scared to lose games. And this team in that second half just looked like a team that were just freed up. And that bodes well for us.
Scotland don't go to World Cups very often. One of the times they did was in 1998. Tony Blair wasn't long into his tenure as Prime Minister, and Bewitched were at #1. Under Craig Brown, Scotland's route to France '98 was a relatively straightforward one, finishing second in their qualifying group behind Austria, but crucially ahead of Sweden. Their place was secured in October 1997. Fast forward to the following June, and there was a shock omission from Brown's World Cup squad, with talkSPORT's very own Ali McCoist left out entirely. 35 years old at the time, he'd scored 15 for Rangers that season. McCoist would describe being left out as the biggest disappointment of his career, and he's still not got over it.
Absolutely battered.
Craig Brown would later describe that decision as a huge regret and apologised. The tournament itself was a celebratory one off the pitch. No Scotland, no party after all. On the pitch, though, it was pretty uninspiring. Scotland opened the tournament against defending champions Brazil. John Collins scored an equaliser from the penalty spot before a Tommy Boyd own goal cruelly snatched what would have been a famous point. Scotland did draw their next game against Norway with an impressive effort from Craig Burley, meaning they then needed to beat Morocco to have any chance of reaching the knockout stages of a major competition for the first time ever. Expectation was high, but Scotland lost 3-0. Among the goals, Jim Leighton unfortunately lobbing himself after palming a point-blank shot into his own net. Scotland's World Cup song Don't Come Home Too Soon by Delamitri ringing in their ears, the Tartan Army made their way home not knowing they wouldn't be back at the World Cup for another 28 years. C'est la vie. And that's the best French 90s pop Scotland World Cup outro line you'll see or hear in any coverage ever.
Yeah, very good afternoon to you. 5 minutes past 5 o'clock. You're listening to World Cup Game Day on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, and Jason Cundy. Still to come, we'll hear from Ipswich's Leif Davis discussing Kieran McKenna's exit. But of course, the Premier League fixtures are out today. And of course, talkSPORT has you covered.
There's the full-time whistle. Arsenal, for the first time in 22 years, are champions of the Premier League.
Fantastic job done by Frank Lampard. Coventry are champions. They are partying on the pitch.
And finally, that's it. The Tigers are back in the big time.
Pep is going to go, and Enzo Maresca, his former assistant and the Chelsea boss, will replace him.
And Ipswich are back at the summit of English football.
Chelsea, in the last few minutes, have confirmed Xabi Alonso as their new manager.
Some breaking news, Arne Slot has been sacked.
Tottenham Hotspur 1, Everton 0. Tottenham survive.
It's talkSPORT. We are Premier League.
The fixtures for the new Premier League season out, and as ever, talkSPORT the place to be. We bring you the first two games of the season, with Arsenal against Coventry. That is live on Friday, August the 21st, followed by Hull against Manchester United at lunchtime the next day. We'll then bring you 118 more Premier League fixtures throughout the season on Monday and Friday nights, plus Saturday lunchtimes and 8 o'clock kickoffs, and also games right throughout the week. So Arsenal fans, well, they'll be rubbing their hands with glee, won't they? Prospect of Coventry at home in their opening game. But what about Cov? Their owner, Doug King, joined H&J earlier after it was announced that they would go to the champions in their first game back in the top division. And he said it's what being in the top flight is all about.
Listen, we haven't been here for 6 years, have we? So anything would have done for us. But what a start at the capital, at the champions. I love that. Champions against the champions, and we'll kick it off, and we'll be glad to do so. I think we've got to go into every game that we have next year believing we have a chance. We know how difficult it'll be there. We know how they play. We know how good they are. What a start. We've played Hull first home game in the championship winning season, so our fans are probably thinking, "Wow, we weren't expecting that." But look, they'll strengthen and get ready for us. No game will be easy, and then obviously to have straight out of the Emirates into the Etihad, that's straight into the Premier League, right?
Well, if he could have handpicked a fixture, he might well have picked that way. Well, maybe he'd have picked Coventry at home to Arsenal.
Maybe.
But that's a great start.
Yeah,
for him,
and look, he's absolutely right. This is why they're there. You've got to play the big dogs. What an unbelievable start to the season. They're the first Premier League game of the new season, away at the champions. And that's what it's all about. And there's Coventry fans out there that'll be rubbing their hands, cannot wait to get down. It's going to be, I'm guessing the weather's going to be decent. I know it's an evening kickoff, but what a way to start life back in the Premier League.
No, it's absolutely brilliant for the Arsenal, Again, look, they'll obviously think they're going to win that fixture, but after that they've got Villa away, Chelsea at home, and then Sunderland and Brighton away. That's a tough old start because Sunderland and Brighton both strong at home.
Yeah, but I mean, they're the champions. They'll go there with their chests out, shoulders back. We're the champions. We've earned the right to be who we are, and it's a tough start for whoever plays Arsenal, because I still think Arsenal win the title next season, Jeff. I don't. And the transfer window obviously has not really got going yet. Who knows what changes are going to be made at clubs? Spurs have started to do a bit of business. We don't know what City are going to continue to do. We don't know what Man United are going to do. Liverpool, they've all got new managers, by the way. What a great time to be an Arsenal fan. Yeah. Chelsea got a new manager. City got a new manager. Liverpool got a new manager. Okay, Man United have, but I know that Carrick has been in situ for a bit. I just don't know what we're going to see from those teams.
No, you don't at the moment. It's too early, but you are right. I mean, your first game with Xabi Alonso in charge is the London derby against Fulham, who might have Alvaro Arbeloa in charge. So two ex-Real Madrid managers head in the Premier League.
Hold on, Harry Howe is a Fulham. Don't start doing that when I'm on air, Al. Give it come on Fulham and me when I'm on air. The West London derby. A great way to start. It's on a Monday evening. I'm guessing talkSPORT will have the commentary. Pretty much every single commentary out there. It's a good start, but we don't know what the Fulham are going to look like.
Yeah,
Marco Silva left them in a great place. What he has done at that club, and he's obviously moved on. If Arbeloa comes in, that's where the clever money is at the moment. But we don't know what Xabi Alonso is going to do, Jeff. People are asking me, what's he going to? I don't know. I don't know what Chelsea's squad's going to look. We need a left back. We need another centre half.
Are you happy with him?
I think so, Jeff. Yeah. I think so. There wasn't that many options out there. Was there? I
think he's a great shout, mate.
Yeah,
he's a great shout for you.
Yeah, But, Slot was this time last year, right? This time last year, all Liverpool fans are going, we've got the greatest manager ever. Slot's going to go and 12 months later, he gets a sack.
Yeah. Look, if we talk about these fixtures, do the players care? I mean, do the players look at the fixtures and think, oh, fantastic, that's really exciting? Or does it just flow over their heads?
You do care. You do look at it. And what does it look like? One of the first things you do is look what's happening Boxing Day.
Yeah, of course.
Are we home or away? What's going on there? Yeah. New Year's around there. And when you play your biggest rivals, that's when you look. They're the games you do. Pretty much like fans. I mean, some players wouldn't care. Some players probably won't even look at them. What comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one that you look at is Boxing Day.
I suppose for some of the clubs, especially the new boys, we mentioned Coventry, but I mean, Hull got Manchester United in their opening game of the season, Ipswich at home to Sunderland. For the new boys, I mean, this is an important time of the season, isn't it? Because you looked at Sunderland last season, won 2 of their first 3, they were on a roll straight away. Remember the season before, Southampton, I think they lost the first 4, something like that. And under pressure right from the word go.
Yes,
for the new boys, they've got to get a
There is an element of that, yes. But once the season gets going, you kind of forget. It's about, we saw what Sunderland did, and Leeds and Burnley the season never really got going, did it? Never really kind of started. Leeds did. Leeds had a great end to it. But Sunderland are the example of they've made some great acquisitions. Their transfer window was brilliant, brought a lot of players that not many people knew about, including Sunderland fans. But the recruitment, it's all about the recruitment you get in Ipswich or another club that's got a new manager going into the new season. I don't know how many times that's happened, Jeff, that a manager has gotten promoted in the Premier League and he's not there in the first game.
No.
Can't have happened too many times.
Quite often he's not there after 7 or 8 games.
Maybe that's true,
but,
yes.
After the first game.
A little bit further down the line, right?
Yeah.
Look, good luck to them. And the teams that have got European football next season, that aren't used to it, that haven't got the biggest squads, they're the ones I think, as the season goes on, will probably see what happened to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of plates they're spinning.
Yeah, it's the fear for Sunderland fans, isn't it? Look,
great
that they're in
Of
Europe.
course.
Those nights at the stadium are going to be
Jeff,
fantastic.
but
you've got to make sure you're staying up
Jeff,
as well.
Yeah, but it'll be the manager, and he's done a brilliant job. Unbelievable job. But next season, the challenge comes again.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking your calls, what do you make of your science fixtures? 03717 223344. Look, my team plays in the National League. We got a.
Who you got, Jeff? Who's your first game?
No, we don't get to know until the middle of July.
Do you know?
Would you believe? But look, this is the opportunity for a gratuitous plug because Hartlepool fan, there is a new website. It's open today. First, first episode, whatever it is. Anyway, it's called themonkeysuncle.news. So it's all one word, themonkeysuncle.news. And it's all the news about Hartlepool United.
You're the monkey hangers, aren't you?
We are the monkey hangers.
Right.
And I tell you what, the editor of this and the main writer, he has a big future.
Right. Okay.
His name is Robbie Stelling.
All right.
Okay. So if you want to find out about Hartlepool, the monkey's uncle.
Right, Jeff, tell me about the monkey. A monkey got hung, right?
A monkey got hung.
A monkey got hung. Who did
It's
that?
not as daft as it sounds, was it? No. It was Napoleonic Wars.
Right. What did he do wrong, the monkey?
Well, he was a spy. They hung him as a spy because a French warship got washed up on the local locks, the Longscott Rocks, off the beach at Hartlepool. French monkey survived, got washed up. The
poor thing survived a boat crash.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he survived a sinking, gets on shore, and then they hang him.
It wasn't a poor thing. He was a French spy. They gave him, the good people of Hartlepool gave him a fair trial.
Right.
And he would not speak up for himself.
Would he not?
So consequently, quite clearly, when he wouldn't say anything, he was clearly a French spy.
Right.
So they did
the only thing that was possible to do is just hang the poor thing.
They hung him. You know what? In years gone by, people used to get upset when, if you were from Hartlepool, if you were called a monkey hanger, you used to get upset. And then the local rugby club put a motto of the hanging monkey on their club ties, and suddenly it became a matter of pride.
So you owned it. You owned it now.
We own it now, and of course the Hartlepool United mascot is called Hangus the Monkey. So a couple of years ago, many years ago, of course Hangus the Monkey, the guy inside it, was elected as mayor of Hartlepool.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good knowledge, Jeff.
No, he was
good local knowledge there. We are from Hartlepool.
Not only was he elected as mayor of Hartlepool, it's absolutely true. He was a mate of mine, actually, became a mate of mine anyway. He did 5 years, and his 5 years as mayor
was he a good mayor?
He was a good mayor.
Was he a good mayor?
He was so good.
Yeah.
He was re-elected after 5 years.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So it sounds like a good mayor to me.
He was a brilliant, brilliant mayor. Anyway, enough of that. Don't forget the website, though. Where are we now? We are going to go and take a look at what's happening in Argentina training when we come back in a couple of minutes. Exactly 5:15. Now, earlier in the show, we asked the all-important question. Who was faster in their pomp? Kyle Walker or Gabby Agbonlahor? Well, talkSPORT's Anil Kandala was at the talkSPORT fan zone at Villa Park last night for England against Croatia, and he put that question to some of the fans in attendance.
It's a tough call, but I'd go for Gabby. He was awesome, and no defender wants anybody with that pace running at them. So I'd go for Gabby. I would.
Quicker than Kyle Walker?
I think so. Yeah, I do. And I'm sure Gabby would agree with me.
Gabby. Well, he used to dart across the field, didn't he? I think he's better than Kyle, to be honest.
Well, we had Kyle on loan for us for many years ago, and he was quick, but Gabby was quicker.
And there you go. It might be a little bit unfair because Gabby Agbonlahor is in that building behind me, but it seems that Gabby's got the vote.
Right, the rest of the world.
He actually spoke to about 100 people who were there, but we already decided to show 3, okay?
I clipped that up for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? When I think about Kyle, when I go back to that game, Kyle, of like, I think it might be Germany at Wembley, and you was right side of the 3, but like you was all the way in the right back position, and I was at the game, mate, and you come sprinting across, mate. Someone was through on goal. I can't remember who it was. It was Muller, yeah. I'm like, where has this guy come from? And you've done that for the last 15, 16 years, mate. Your centre-half pairings with England and Manchester City must have been looking at you thinking like, okay, maybe I can leave a bit of space in behind, because you would always just come out of nowhere and cover.
Yeah, I think that was what my game was based on. You know, I probably didn't create that much going forward with assists and stuff. I chipped in with a few, but not as much as probably what I should have done. So my main game when I got a little bit older was to make sure I can cover the back.
Incredible.
Here's a great suggestion. Jill's a regular contributor. She says, why not get both of them in the car park? Said, my money's on Kyle.
Just about, yeah.
You know football.
I'll have to kick him first.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad. It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Almost 5:20. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, and Jason Cundy, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app. Just want to say hello to Katie, who's a Leeds fan. She says, I want to thank Stella Stelling and Commando Cundy. Commando. It's very good. For keeping me company on my drive home from Cambridge to Stockport. Blimey.
I think she phoned up the show the other night, actually.
Did she?
Yes.
Friday night driving Cambridge to Stockport.
Yeah,
that is a thing of nightmares.
Yeah, what's that? How many hours is that, Jeff?
Friday evening rush hour.
Yeah, what are you talking?
Well, 3.5. I'm thinking something like that.
Right, okay. Well, at least, we're keeping the company. Hopefully there's no road issues, Jeff.
But we loved Commando Cundy. Thanks very much indeed, Katie. Safe driving. Still to come, we'll be hearing why Harry Kane loved singing Wonderwall the other night. But now let's head straight to Kansas City because Argentina are holding an open training session ahead of their game against Austria on Monday. And talkSPORT's Faye Carruthers is there for us. Afternoon, Faye.
All right, Faye.
Good afternoon. I've just had a massive bug just fly right over my face a second ago. There's some nasty bugs out here in Kansas, I'm telling you. You have to duck them and put on plenty of bug spray,
it's on your
that's
hair.
for sure. Is it? I can't get it off.
Just at the
I've
back.
not got enough hands free, but there you go. Thanks very much for spotting that. Horrible
He's
things.
gone.
Hey, Kate, before we talk Argentina,
Go on.
any news coming out of the England camp today? Is everything just sailing along gracefully?
Yes, it is at the minute. They've got a behind closed doors training session today and tomorrow, actually. Some of the players went to go and watch the Kansas City Royals baseball last night. In fact, Thomas Tuchel gave the ceremonial opening pitch in the diamond. Dan Burn, Harry Kane and Jed Spence joined him in the middle there. So, they're taking in other sports while we're here. It's a massive sporting city, Kansas. It is known as the home of soccer, actually, in the USA, but so many other sports to watch and get involved in, and that's what they took in yesterday. And then quieter day away from the media today. We don't get to see their training session tomorrow either, but we will get to see some of the players and interview them tomorrow in the media centre, and we'll bring you the interviews from that. But here at Sporting Kansas City's training ground, which actually some of the England players yesterday played them in a training session, some of the players that didn't take part and needed extra loading. The Argentina team are training here, so you can probably see just behind me Lionel Messi and co. Lionel Messi has had a bit of a tough week, actually. I mean, scored a hat-trick in that opening game against Algeria, which was brilliant and set Argentina, the defending champions, well on their way in this World Cup. But personally, he's had a few problems behind the scenes with his father suffering from some ill health, and so it's been a difficult few days for him. But he's actually closest to us here. You can see him, and I tell you what, it's such a treat to watch a player of his stature up close. He turns 39 during this tournament, which is quite incredible. A record 6 World Cups that he's taken part in, and obviously this is his swan song, and many thought, maybe we wouldn't necessarily see the best of him, but there he is, joint top of the scoring charts, and having a great tournament and desperate to go out on a high.
Listen, we'll talk about Argentina in a second, Faye. I just want to talk about England if I can. What is the latest on Declan Rice? Because myself and O'Hara, a bit of a head scratcher when he took him off, when the only conclusion we had to come to was the fact that he had a niggle, and it turned out to be the case. What is there, if there's any update on him?
So I actually saw him in the tunnel afterwards. He came and did some media within the flash zone, as it's called, which is where the players come to speak to TV and us on radio. And he didn't look to be moving particularly comfortably. He didn't go straight down the tunnel after he came off, which was positive signs. But Thomas Tuchel did confirm in the press conference afterwards that he wasn't comfortable and he felt something, and he's not worth the risk. And we're very lucky with the strength in depth that England have, and the fact that Reece James could then slot in to that position when he came off, because I think we were all sitting there going, why on earth is Jed Spence? None of this makes sense, but it made perfect sense in the end, with Reece James moving into the middle, and you have to rest Declan Rice regardless. He has played a lot of football, so if he feels it, and there's no egos in this squad in terms of having to complete 90 minutes. Thomas said he wouldn't have taken him off in normal circumstances. He plays until the game is well and truly wrapped up, which at that point it wasn't. I think it was 71 minutes that he came off, but we're not hearing anything negative about where he's at, and of course we'll get eyes on the players a little bit more, not tomorrow but the day after. They do match day -2 training behind closed doors, so we won't get to see that, but hopefully the good thing about the distance between game 1 and game 2 in the group stage is that England don't play for another 4 days. They face Ghana in Boston on Monday, so there's plenty of time for them to look after him and make sure he's okay.
Just a quick word on the great man. I mean, Lionel Messi, of course. I'm taking it that in training he doesn't run too much, Faye.
I mean, no, but he doesn't need to.
No,
I mean,
know.
his skills with the ball. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And no, he stands around quite a lot with his hands on his hips, and you know, does some rondos. The poor player in the middle struggles, obviously, as you can imagine. But just his stature and everything, and just to watch him at close quarters and watch what he can do with the ball, and how he sees the game pan out in front of him is just a real delight and a real privilege to watch.
Yeah. Faye, thanks very much indeed.
Cheers, Faye. Take care.
Take care.
Hey, Messi, mate. Our first game.
He is a joke. He is a joke. Now, I know it's Algeria, right? But come on, he's been doing this now for 20 plus years. I got home after I'd done the sports bar, Jeff, and I got in at 2 o'clock on Wednesday morning. And as I got in, but just before 2 o'clock, I turned the telly on, and then the game's just started. I've got myself a bottle of wine, and I sat down, and of course, Messi scores early on. And I was just mesmerised by him, and I was watching him out when he's in shot but out of possession, and Argentina are out of possession. He walks, he conserves all energy, walks, and he just drifts. And then Argentina win back possession, and he comes to life. So the team is still built around him. Don't anyone tell you it's not. Absolutely still built around him.
Yeah, he's just aware of everything. Where
it's not fair. His ability
at all times.
It's not fair. The one man has that amount of. He's been a superstar and he still continues to be, yeah.
I'm just trying to keep one eye on the golf at Shinnecock Hills. Dustin Johnson, he's playing the 15th at the moment. It's a par 4, and then he's got a 3-footer for an 8 at the par 4.
Ooh,
took 2 in the
even
bunker.
I know what that means.
He's going to go to a minimum of 4 over.
That's ugly, Jeff.
I mean, an absolute mare at the moment. Still to come, we'll be hearing why Harry Kane loved singing Wonderwall the other night. But right now, time for no Googling. We want to know, out of the teams to have played in more than one Premier League season, which 2 teams have the best win percentage on opening weekends? It's a bit complicated. Teams that have played in more than one Premier League season, which 2 teams have got the best win percentage on opening weekends?
Is that a surprise?
Yes, one of them is a big surprise.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
One is
One's
a lot
obvious.
of people will get.
Yeah, okay.
Will get, and one. I'm guessing that nobody will guess.
Right.
There's Dustin Johnson now. He's over this for a quadruple bogey 8 at the 15th, and he rolls it in. He's gone from even to 4 over in the space of 1 hole. Don't throw your putter, Justin, because that'll be another 2-shot penalty. 5:28, Friday, June the 19th, and you're listening to World Cup Game Day Live.
You mentioned Perisic. They've got players in their side, Modric. You know, they're the wrong side of 35, right? These players have been in their team for a long, long time. And we're not struggling, but the first 45, I'm watching it thinking, how is this happening again?
But also, you've got to think, right? I get what you're saying, but also, there's going to be a few nerves kicking about.
Yeah.
Right? These guys, as you said there, have been around for such a long time, so they just understand, they're comfortable where they are. Modric, Perisic, these guys, they just know what it takes to get to that, to get to that level. But it's. I think there's a lot of boxes that Thomas Tuchel would have ticked. I thought the team selection he got wrong. But in my personal,
who did he get wrong?
I would have started Rashford.
Yeah, me too.
And Mark Gahey has to play. He has to play.
Talk about what you're saying outside about the balance of the centre halves.
Because John Stones, he naturally plays on the right hand side, right? And it's Maguire that usually plays on the left when it was those two. When you move John Stones out to the left, naturally he doesn't go that way to Nico O'Reilly, which is why he barely touched the ball. He couldn't go that way.
And Anthony Gordon hardly received the ball in the first half.
Exactly. Mark Gahey naturally plays on the left side, so he's used to receiving the ball from the right hand side and going out to the left. But that just wasn't there, which is why we hardly saw anything down that left hand side. But yeah, I would have started Mark Gahey and I would have started Rashford for sure. They would have been my first two not on the team sheet, but they're the two that I would have started.
So you would have started with Rashford on the left. What about the other side? Would you have started with Noni?
Yeah, probably, because Saka, I'm not sure. I don't know how fit Saka is.
Okay. Looked good when he come on, though.
Looked really good. Looked like hungry.
Yeah.
But that's a good problem you've got. But at the end of the day, the quality shone through second half. Even though there were moments towards the end of the second half, before Rashford scored, I was thinking, oh my goodness, they're on top again. They're starting to move the ball. They're getting into their rhythm. Their substitutions made a big difference. But then Rashford comes on and just does what he does.
Yeah.
The sharp turn, the finish.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a problem that the first 45 were a bit whiffy because you look at France. I was just about to say, look at France. I mean, they had a rocket up their backside. They're a completely different side in the second half.
Told you about him, didn't I? I said, how often do I sit you?
Write his name down. He's going to be a player.
History back into Scotland tonight in Boston. A win against Morocco takes them into the World Cup knockouts for the first time ever. And Captain Andy Robertson says they have the best fans in the world.
They just carry themselves so well, and I think just every city they go in and every people they meet, they just fall in love with them, and that's the biggest compliment I can give them. But, you know, on Saturday they were magnificent for us in the stadium as well, and I know they'll be the same again.
Much to Jim White's dismay, though, Fabian Hurtzler's backing Morocco.
I think that they have really good togetherness in their squad. They played really good AFCON, and now I think they're ranked 7th in the FIFA world ranking list, so I think we have to take them serious, and I'm really impressed by them.
Achraf Hakimi is expected to lead out his team later. Today, French prosecutors have confirmed he will stand trial for rape for an allegation in 2023. Elsewhere, Mary Earps has signed for London City Lionesses, and England winger Emmanuel Faye-Rebozo will start for Exeter in tomorrow's Gallagher Prem final versus Northampton Saints. He's returned less than 3 weeks after jaw surgery after an injury against Leicester Tigers.
At 5:34, you're listening to the World Cup Game Day on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, and Jason Cundy. Still to come, we'll have some fun with the best of talkSPORT. A few moments ago, though, we gave you the second of our no Googling questions. We asked, out of the teams to have played in more than one Premier League season, which two teams have the best win percentage on the opening weekends? That's a cracking question, Jim.
Well, I got the first one,
You got
and
the first one.
it felt quite easy, Man United. I got that
Yeah.
one. I didn't get the second.
Yeah, and it's the team. I mean, you would never have guessed.
No.
Not in a million years, to be honest. It's the team Man United play on the opening weekend. Hull City. They both got 65% win percentages on opening weekends. I mean, Hull have only been in the Premier League on 5 different seasons.
Right.
But they've started well more often than not.
Okay.
Game you can hear live on talkSPORT on the opening Saturday. Let's head back to the Oval now, and thank goodness, at long last, there's been a wicket. Sam Allard is watching for talkSPORT.
It's nice, Jeff, to be able to say a wicket at the cricket from 28 for 2 to 189 for 2. England finally have that third wicket. There's no frontline spinner, but Jacob Bethel's had to do a lot of bowling, and he has broken this partnership. Rachimavinda trapped LBW for 76, looking to sweep into the leg side. No bat, hit him on the front pad, out LBW. Henry Nicholls is playing really nicely, not out on 93. He's only in the team because of Kane Williamson's retirement after that first test match. He is taking his opportunity. Daryl Mitchell, the new batter, to the crease. We can play until 6:30 this evening. New Zealand 193 for 3, leading by 293 runs.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order, isn't it, for England when they do get to bat again down at the Oval. OK, let's round up all the latest World Cup action right now on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Daily Tournament Roundup on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
And to help us do just that, we're joined live from Dallas by talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. Afternoon, Crookie.
Crookie Monster.
Good afternoon, boys. How we doing?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good, mate. Still love that hat. Yeah.
Wearing it well.
He wears it very well, yeah. Well, he has to wear something well, doesn't he? Let's be brutally honest about it. Crookie, so what, you would think England have got enough games to play in the World Cup, wouldn't you? What's this about a behind-closed-door friendly on Thursday? What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I think that was mainly for the players who didn't get much game time in that 4-2 opening game win against Croatia. We know that they played 2 25-minute halves against Sporting Kansas City. They won handsomely, as you would expect. Ivan Toney with a hat-trick. Morgan Rogers was amongst the scorers as well. So I just think it was Thomas Tuchel's way of getting some minutes into the legs of those players who didn't really feature against Croatia. It's going to be really interesting to see what he does for this second game, boys, because there's an argument. I think Marcus Rashford, with his cameo off the bench in the second half, probably did enough to get himself a starting spot. But Thomas Tuchel might just be the school of thought, maybe Rashford better as an impact player than a starter. And what does he do about the centre-backs? Because, yes, they've scored 4 goals, England, but neither John Stones or Ezri Konsa looked particularly comfortable today, especially in that first half.
No, and the first half, no one really... You know, there were spells, Crookie, where I thought we done well. But there was also spells where we didn't. And the second half performance had to improve. I love the fact that Tuchel came out and said what he said. The quotes from the players, well, I've been here 17 days with you guys, right? And we ain't going to lose like that. We're going to lose playing, show with a bit of freedom. And imagine being in the dressing room hearing that. And the players reacted. It got a reaction out of the players' second half.
Yeah, and I wonder if he looks at what Spain did at the last European Championships. You were out there, Jeff, and a lot of the big teams underwhelmed early on. Spain, right from the start of the tournament, with their exciting wide players, Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal, were really determined to impose themselves on the opposition. I think England did the same thing in the second half, and we've seen everybody play now. I think France aside, maybe Argentina, obviously Messi's got a hat-trick, but who are they really playing? I've not seen a team in this tournament that if England play like they did in the second half, that we should be scared of.
I agree, yeah.
Let's stick with England, because Harry Kane's been speaking to the Lions' Den on the official England YouTube channel. He discussed singing Wonderwall with the fans after that win over Croatia.
That was one of my favourite ever moments, I think, in an England shirt, and especially at a major tournament. I know it's just the first game and we're not getting carried away, but just that emotional connection with the fans, we know how much it means to them. I think they see how much it means to us. We have that connection right now, but just that moment, singing Wonderwall in the stadium, everyone knew the words, and that was a really special moment, I thought.
Crookie, you were there. How special was it?
Oh, it was sensational, Jeff. That's my go-to karaoke song anyway, so I was quite pleased with the choice of the stadium PA announcer. But I was in the hospitality suite after the game, and they probably played that song 3 or 4 times, and every time it came on, the England supporters, a lot of them had their shirts off. They were jumping up and down, as Harry Kane, the captain, says there. Everybody knows the words. The locals were looking on a little bit bemused, but I've got to say, they've really embraced the England fans, the football fans that are flooding into Texas for this tournament. We were in a huge line dancing bar last night. There were fans from many different countries all mingling together, all talking about football, all being taught how to line dance. I was dreadful at that, by the way. I was basically treading on everybody's toes.
Mate, I've seen you dance, Crookie. You're not bad, mate. I've
real
seen
sense
you
of
dance.
camaraderie.
I've been on a dance for you, mate.
Well, I wasn't great last night. It's hard, you know, because basically the dance floor is one big circle, so you're constantly having to be on the move. I was knackered by the end of it. It was like doing a gym workout.
Look, I mean, there's a lot of talk about making Wonderwall a sort of official England anthem, if you like. I've got to be honest with you, it's not my favourite Oasis song. You know, I mean, if I could choose one, I'd pick. Well, don't look back in anger. That would be, if we're going to have an Oasis song as the official England anthem.
Well, do you know what? I heard Noel on Drive a couple of weeks ago. Noel's not an England fan. He's got Irish descendants, right? Yeah. So I wonder how Noel feels about that. But there is something. It's an anthem, isn't it? Wonderwall. It's an absolute anthem, and you know, it's. Was this planned, Crookie? Is this something that was planned, or is it something that's just kind of morphed into this moment now that Wonderwall, in the first game, may well be England's song going through in this World Cup with the fans?
No, I have a feeling it was spontaneous, because I think the first song they played after full time was Three Lions, and obviously that this happened at the home Euros a few years ago, didn't it, with Sweet Caroline? I do wonder if it's time to move on from Neil Diamond. So
it is, Crookie, it is. If there's one thing I hate about watching England or any of the big finals, it's when we have Sweet Bloomin' Caroline. I absolutely detest it. I detest it, Jason.
We'll get that coming out the next break, right, for Jeff?
Don't you dare. I'm leaving. You're right, Crookie, you're right. Time to move on from that.
The other song the England fans sing a lot, obviously because of Jude Bellingham, is Hey Jude, and that got a few renditions in the hospitality lounges as well.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to go with Hey Jude, that's for sure. What about Brazil, quickly, Crookie, as well? Do you see them making changes against Haiti? I mean, they weren't too impressive first time up against Morocco, were they?
No, and it's a big game, isn't it? Because they put pressure on themselves in terms of topping the group. Sorry, Scotland fans, I expect Morocco to beat Scotland, so therefore Brazil are going to need to get those 3 points. In terms of changes, Igor Thiago didn't cover himself in any glory. He did the number 9 for Brazil. Had such a good season for Brentford. I wonder if João Pedro is watching on a beach somewhere thinking, well, what on earth do I have to do to get into this team? I'd imagine he might come out, and maybe Matheus Cunha might play as the false 9.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the teams that start slowly, especially the big dogs in previous tournaments. They get it right the second game, but there must be a fear about some of them, in particular Brazil, that things aren't quite happy. They look way off it. I mean, I know Spain did as well, but Brazil, Morocco were much the better side. This has turned into a huge game, because Haiti they should beat, but actually Haiti could have come away with something against Scotland.
Yeah, they look dangerous, and that's my fear for Scotland today. A better side than Haiti would have punished those defensive lapses. Again, really interested to see what Steve Clarke does with his team. He obviously played 4-4-2 in that game because he knew they needed the points, knew they needed the goals. They didn't really get those goals. Does he go back to a back three, a more pragmatic approach? But you're right about Brazil. I thought they were really underwhelming against Morocco. Spain, you've mentioned. And speaking to the Dutch fans who always travel in numbers and obviously make a very colourful spectacle, they weren't particularly enamoured with Ronald Koeman and his in-game changes against Japan. So some big nations and big managers of those nations already under pressure early in the tournament.
Yeah. Jamie's text has said, yes, Jeff, Sweet Caroline needs to be retired. Hate it. I'm right with you, Jamie. Right with you.
Poor old Neil Diamond.
Oh, poor old Neil Diamond, yeah. I think he's made a bob or two in royalties up and over the years, don't you? Just a bob or two. Before you go, Crookie, any transfer news you can bring us up to date with?
Well, this Elliot Anderson deal to Manchester City seems to be progressing. We know Nottingham Forest rejected an offer worth £121 million, but City trying again to get this deal done. There's a possibility, if they can reach an agreement, he'll do his medical here at the World Cup. I think the expectation is they do sign Elliot Anderson. And I'm told their interest in Sandro Tonali is genuine as well. So what does that mean for the future of Rodri after this World Cup?
Interesting.
Crookie, brilliant. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Crookie.
Mate, keep practicing that line dancing.
I will, don't worry.
I got a nice anonymous text here. It just says, Jeff, you're so boring. So the fact that I don't like Sweet Caroline makes
Jeff,
me
you're not boring,
really
mate.
boring.
You're not boring.
Well, I am according to Mr. Anonymous.
Well, do you know what? Maybe there is a bit of overkill from Sweet Caroline, but I've got to tell you, mate, when the atmosphere hits at Ali Pally and everyone's up for it, everyone just throws themselves into it.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got to be there. Maybe it's one of those I had to be there moment.
When you're at the Ali Pally, you've had 15 pints.
Yeah.
You will throw
There you go.
yourself. You
Yeah.
will throw yourself into
you're probably
absolutely
right.
anything. In truth,
You're probably right.
that was a roundup of all the latest World Cup action on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're here for it.
Daily Tournament Roundup on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
New Zealand 199 for 3. Henry Nichols on 98. You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live.
We were just chatting off air about Terry Venables and Euro 96. You're getting Euro 96 vibes already.
Well, I'm getting England-Holland Euro 96 vibes, 100%, because, I was very fortunate enough to know Terry, as I'm sure you two did. And, I asked him about that game. We used to do a show together on Saturdays on the radio about football. And, he said, I just threw 7 forwards on. Everybody could play in attack. Even the sort of back four, we were very sort of front-footed thinking. And he said, don't worry about how many goals they're going to score. Just score more goals than them. And then you have them on the back foot and they can't get out of their own half anyway. Yeah. And you were there for England-Holland at Wembley Stadium. I was there when the scoreboard said England 4, Holland 0. I mean, they did score a goal, but we did see 4-0 for a while. And last night was very, very reminiscent of that, and they talk about total football. That was as close as we got. And, I'm fascinated by managers and what they say and what makes the difference between Alex Ferguson and an Arsene Wenger and a Thomas Tuchel compared to the others. Ancelotti, I know you're a big fan of and he's been on the show.
Yeah.
And it's great, isn't it, because Harry, the thing about Tuchel is he's just saying what he thinks, even right before the game. He's saying, well, we're going to do this because they're going to do that. And if they're watching, they know what he's going to do. But he's so organised in a way that's sort of, quite off-putting for the opposition, I would imagine. And then Harry Kane does a Thomas Tuchel after the match because he tells you exactly what Tuchel told them at half time, which was basically, lads, I thought we had a deal here. You're gonna play like you don't care, like you're back in the playground, and in the first half you didn't do that, boys. We had an agreement. Can we just go out and do that? And they all went, oh yeah, we remember. And they just went out, and it was just a different game. And I was, as you can hear, I was very excited about it. We all were very excited about it. And this morning, there's this whole sense of relief and release, and now we're looking forward to next week and Tuesday, and it's like, it might be coming home.
Hello, I'm Matt Fordham from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad. It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
It is exactly 10 minutes away from 6 o'clock. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, and Jason Cundy, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Thanks to Ash, the Newcastle fan, who says, "Oh, Jeff, how I have missed your grumpiness. Keep up the good work." Thanks very much indeed, Ash. Still to come, we'll be hearing from some Scotland fans in the States ahead of their second game against Morocco tonight. But just quickly, Christian Pulisic is now expected to be fit for the USA's second group game against Australia this evening. In other news, Liverpool have told RB Leipzig that they will pay around £86 million for the teenage winger Jan Diamandi. A lot of money, isn't it? And it's day 3 of the second test between England and New Zealand at the Oval. Special day for one New Zealand batsman as well. Watching for us is Sam Ellard.
Yeah, congratulations, Henry Nicholls, in 11th Test match 100. If Kane Williamson hadn't retired after the last Test match, he wouldn't be in the team. But he's back to fill the biggest shoes in New Zealand's batting history, and he's doing it brilliantly. His 100 comes off 136 balls in his last 9 first-class matches going back to August of last year. He's averaging 111. He's in decent touch, and he's carrying on that in the Test match arena against England. He had a bit of luck on 38, dropped by James Rew, gloving a shorter ball from Jofra Archer down the leg side. James Rew diving to his right-hand side, got a glove on it, but couldn't catch it. And I think it's fair to say that Nicholls has punished England. He's got 103 runs to his name. Daryl Mitchell's new to the crease. He's got 5. England a short while ago breaking that 4th-wicket partnership. Rachin Ravindra, LBW Jacob Bethel, but for 76 runs. So it's 208 for 3. New Zealand leading by 308 runs. England's highest successful 4th innings chase to win a Test match at the Oval is 263. And again, that lead is 308 runs, Jeff. And New Zealand have still got 7 wickets in hand.
Yeah, going to be a long couple of days for England, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let's head off to Shinnecock Hills, shall we? Second round of the US Open. I'll tell you what, Gabby Partington's there for us. Gabby, I had to watch the 15th, that 8 for Dustin Johnson, through my fingers.
Oh, it made me cringe. What a torrid 5 minutes he had there. It was hard to watch, wasn't it, Jeff? Listen to this, look. His last 5 holes, double bogey, 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 par, and a snowman. That sounds a bit more like my scorecard, to be honest. Now he's gone from tied 15th to now in danger of missing the cut, which is probably lurking around the 3 over mark at the minute. Also, Jeff, other big names also in danger. Just John Spieth, Shane Lowry at 5 over, Bryson DeChambeau at 4 over with a couple to play. Till Hatton gets underway in about an hour. He's 4 over. And miraculously, Joaquin Niemann might actually make it. He's 5 under today, right on the cut line, as is Brooks Koepka, who heads out in about 40 minutes. Jeff, you also mentioned some big drives yesterday. Bryson, who sent one 427 yards. On the 12th. The longest drive this season on the PGA Tour, any guesses? 446 yards? Who that was by?
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, Jeff.
446 yards.
Come on, Jeff. You're eulogising
Go on,
about...
Who do you think did that?
Rory?
Wyndham Clark, which is so
really?
fitting for our story out here.
Wow. Hey, Gabby, so it's a snowball, a quadruple bogey then?
Snowman, yeah.
Snowman.
It's an 8. Can you see it's the snowman?
Okay. What if you were 5 over? What would that be?
Lollipop?
There's got to be a point where it ends, where we don't have phrases for it anymore.
It makes it more interesting, doesn't it? When you're watching golf for 5 hours.
It's
and
10
a
over.
snowman.
It's 10 over.
10 over.
Could you
You're
make
throwing
it
me
up?
off now. I can't count.
Just quickly, is Rory out yet, or when does he go out?
No,
Gabby?
Rory's not out yet. He's a part of a group at 1 under par. Okay. He's out at 7:02. That's alongside Tommy Fleetwood and Ludwig Oberd. Tommy's level for the championship as well. Ludwig also at 1 under for the championship as well.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Gabby.
Cheers, guys. Thanks so much.
Brilliant. You learn something new every day, don't you?
You do, matey.
Never
There
heard
you go,
snowman.
There you go.
Quadruple bogey. Had plenty of those at my time as well. Right, it's time for this. Yeah, this is the best of talkSPORT, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across talkSPORT and our sister stations. So,
let's kick things off with this morning's breakfast show. Wasn't up early enough to hear it. Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent were discussing goal celebrations.
Why are you throwing your beer up in the air? What's the point of that?
Too excited, aren't you? People just getting carried away.
Yeah, no good.
No.
Keep your beer in your hand. I celebrate. Look, we're showing it on YouTube. It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah. Just do you know, doing that.
What would you do? Would you have cognac? Would you have?
What, brandy? So when, I ain't throwing that. No way. You can't get that at the festival anyway.
No, it's like me. I would never chuck a Dalmore.
Honestly.
Jess, would you ever throw your drink up
No,
in the air?
so do you know-
But it's expensive stuff that you drink, I know that.
No, so here's the thing, Jeff. It has become a celebration, but what really annoys me is when the Harry Kane penalty was scored. So you've got a beer in your hand, you know there's a chance England are going to score. When it's spontaneous, for example, the Jude Bellingham goal, right? That one I kind of get a bit more because you don't know it's going. But the people throwing the beer in the air, I don't know, it's just that annoys me a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, throwing your beer in the air on a penalty.
No, I'm not having it. And you come home stinking. Look, I mean, those shirts smell bad enough at the best of times. Sorry, Jason. That one, no offence meant there. So when you're covered in beer as well.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Nah, you don't want that. Not a good look.
No.
Not a good smell. Don't forget, Andy's back with the breakfast show next week, every morning from 6.
Over at H&J now, and they were getting in the mood ahead of Morocco against Scotland.
Let's do it, okay? Ready? And go! Scotland, when will we see your likes again?
2-0 Morocco.
Fought and died for Andy Jacob.
Is it? Thank you, Shaban. Thank you, Struan. God, you're an old curmudgeon, you
That's
are.
the
You
worst sound in the universe.
You get worse with age. You a bagpipe lover?
Do you know what? I'm not offended by it, Jeff. But it's not something you're going to listen to. You're not going to go home and go on, put some bagpipe music.
Yeah, you're not going to go and
You're
buy
not going
the
to do
best
that, are
of
you?
the bagpipes.
No,
are you?
it's for an occasion. Obviously, you know, weddings, all that sort of thing. If it's Scottish and the national anthem, no one has got a CD at home with what, I couldn't even name you a bagpipe song other than Flower of Scotland, right?
No, neither could I.
No.
No, not at all. Have you ever conducted an interview wearing a traffic cone?
No, I've done a lot of interviews wearing lots of different shady gear, but definitely not a traffic cone on my head. I cannot claim that one, Jeff.
I thought she might look pretty good in it, to be brutally honest.
She carries it well. What can I say?
Well,
She carries it well.
Let's see when she's back in the studio, back in England. Let's see her wearing that traffic cone.
Yeah, she won't
again.
do it then, will she? But it's fine when you're out there and someone's playing the bagpipes. Do you know what? Strangely, it looked all right. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Because bagpipes and traffic cones go together like...
well, you do if you're a Scotland fan. Do if you're a Scotland fan, Jeff. Doesn't matter, mate.
I love it. Let's finish things off with a bit of White and Jordan. They were joined by a special guest.
But 2 becomes 3 because I'm delighted to tell you, a man that when he was at Crystal Palace, Simon Jordan tried to sign, reportedly, but he said no thanks and had a fabulous career instead. I'm delighted to tell you that former West Ham Villa midfielder and CBS pundit Nigel Reo-Coker, a Croydon boy just like Jordan himself.
Nigel Reo-Coker. I tell you what, how can he wear a hat that looks so stylish when Crookie wears something pretty similar and looks so rugged?
Well, some people just get away with it, Jeff. It's like Shaban. She wore a traffic cone there. She made it look good.
We should suggest that to Crookie.
If Crookie had a traffic cone in his hair, maybe we should try it. Maybe that's where we should go. Right?
Yeah. Would you ever sign for a club if Simon Jordan was the owner?
Do you know what? I wouldn't mind playing for Simon. I like Simon. He's straight talking. He's my kind of guy. You know, you always know where you stand with Simon. He's not one of those. I don't know what Simon thinks. You know what he thinks. I like straight talking people. So yeah, I wouldn't mind playing for Simon.
Yeah.
I don't know what wages to give me though, Jeff. Have to. You know, he don't look the most generous man.
I think he'd be a hard negotiator.
Yeah, probably. But I wouldn't mind playing for Simon at all, actually.
Remember, White and Jordan live from New York every afternoon this week from 1. Of course, you can find all our shows on the talkSPORT app, where you can swipe between talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 and all of our other sister stations as well, so you'll never miss a moment. Thanks to Chris, who tells me a snowman can be 3 over, 4 over, or 5 over, Jeff. It's for an 8. Okay, so a snowman is for an 8, which sort of makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. When you look at this, if you had to draw a snowman, it looks like an 8.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a minute away from 6 o'clock. When we come back, we're going to be concentrating on Scotland. What a night it is ahead, potentially for them. A point would do, and they'd be through to the knockout phase.
Hopefully not. Hopefully
World
not,
Cup.
Jeff. Hopefully not, mate.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
No, come on. In your heart, I know you've got the Morocco shirt in, but your heart of hearts is telling you
Get back.
you want to hear more of the pipes. You want to see more of Shaban in her traffic cone. You want Scotland to run riot.
I want Scotland to go through and then get battered. All right? I'll give them that, Jeff. How about that? Can we agree on that one?
Yeah, well, I agree on 50% of it. We want Scotland to go through it. That's enough from you. This is World Cup Game Day Live.
Simon, from Southgate to Tuchel, was this the front-footed difference that you have been wishing?
Oh, definitely. I mean, for a number of reasons, for the reasons that Brad's laid out in terms of the substitutions, from the manner in which this is rock and roll football. This is what we saw with Jurgen Klopp in the second half. Interesting that Tuchel needs to have a reinforcement at half-time, because you would have assumed that that conversation had happened before the game and that they were told to get on the front foot before the game. And England looked quite nervous when they started, and they weren't, for the first 5 or 10 minutes, I thought they weren't really at it. And you know, I think the performance in the second half, I was sitting next to Brad, and he was saying to me, and I think I'm right in quoting him, is that this is the best attacking formation or attacking performance that we've seen in the World Cup so far, in terms of the way that they put it upon the Croatians. Whatever we may have created in the media about how old this Croatian team is, Troy was saying to me off air that the average age of the Croatians is 28 and a half, whereas our team is 27. We've been walking around under the impression this is a dad's army, just because you've got Luka Modric. So they're not mugs. You know, I think we could have done better with the goals, but notwithstanding that, you know, whatever lessons we think we need to learn defensively, Tuchel will learn them and they'll make some adjustments. But offensively, if you look at that performance, that is as good as you want an England side to play. It's as good as an England side has played on the front foot for a very, very long time. And you look at it, and 4-2 flatters the Croatians to some extent, because England could have had 6 in the second half. So I think it's a great marker. It's a great start to the tournament. It's what the public will want to see. Tuchel is hiding his light behind a bushel, because I would imagine he was very strong in the dressing room at half-time to wake a few people up, because you saw it, they came out of the traps like men possessed. Yeah. You know, they scored the perfect cure to a goal just before half-time is a goal directly after half-time. And that's exactly what England got.
I also thought as well, sorry, I know you've got to go to break.
No problem.
But you know, now you see so many managers say buzzwords. Yeah. And he's talking about being aggressive, being on the front foot. He actually means it, doesn't he? You get that sense of, oh, when he say we're on the front foot and be brave, if we make this mistake, it's on me. It's not on you, lads. So I think when a manager's that aggressive in what he says and believes it, it's easier for the players there, because you know, ultimately, if we fail, we've all failed, and he's not going to throw me under the bus.
In a century of World Cups, it's not just the football that's changed. Stadiums have gone from concrete behemoths to technological marvels, and the giant monolithic arenas help to define tournaments. Back in 1930, the world embraced its greatest spectacle for the first time. Uruguay was the host, and in just 90 days, they built a stadium that's still there today. It was a gargantuan effort to pull together the 90,000 capacity Estadio Centenario, one of only 3 venues for that tournament, that would act as a monument to 100 years of Uruguayan independence. If that was the World Cup's birthplace, Mexico City's Estadio Azteca became its cathedral. Some of the World Cup's most iconic moments happened on this grass, including this, of course. Also, both Pelé and Maradona lifted the trophy in the Azteca. A bit of pub quiz ammo for you there. You're welcome. In England, there's no more special place to us than Wembley, the scene of our greatest triumph. And yes, it definitely was a goal. Some incredible stadiums across the world have hosted matches, but you don't have to have a modern-day spaceship of a ground to make it memorable. Take 2006, for example, and here. The memories of what happened at Berlin's Olympiastadion show events on the pitch can elevate a stadium in the minds of fans worldwide. But that doesn't stop us from marvelling at modern triumphs of engineering. Let's jump ahead to Qatar and take a look at this, the Lusail Stadium. This gorgeous golden bowl hosted the frankly unbelievable final in 2022. But that's not where it ends in Qatar. Take Stadium 974, for example. This place was built from shipping containers and can be taken down and built somewhere else. Mad. It's crazy to think that we've gone from building giant concrete bowls to what is basically modern art. To be fair, some concrete bowls, like the Maracanã, are art in its most flawless form. The teams and the players are why we all come, but sometimes the stage they perform on ends up being the main character. And with structures like this, it's hardly a surprise.
You're listening to World Cup Game Day on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, and Jason Cundy. You've been getting a message, have you, Jason?
Do you know what? Noel Gallagher's messaged me. He said, for your information, that song belongs to the people. Talking about Wonderwall, right? That moment at the end where Harry Kane was talking about a special moment with the fans. He said, I don't see it as my song. I thought it was a brilliant moment. Anything but Sweet Caroline.
Ah, with you there, Noel.
Block caps.
Absolutely. Well done, Noel. Absolutely with you. Yeah, look, I just my favourite Oasis song's done at Back in Anger, but I get Wonderwall.
It is an anthem. It's an anthem.
Yeah, it is an anthem. Hey, let's hope we're singing it for many games to come. Many games.
Well, we will see on Tuesday evening when England play again against Ghana if that comes out again, and that connection is so important that the players have that connection with the fans. And that moment we saw where they were gazing up at the fans and they were singing back to them.
Yeah,
it was a real moment. It was a real moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jill's texted, please get 2 traffic cones. It would make my day.
What?
That's
what,
one,
on our heads?
One for you and me. Yeah, I think so. No, don't think about it.
I'm looking at producer Joe.
Do not go there.
Traffic cones?
No. No, definitely not traffic cones.
We won't be able to wear it as good as
Morocco's shirt is bad enough. 2 traffic cones, not going there. Still to come, we'll be discussing just how good Jude Bellingham is, but now it's time to get a Scotland camp update with Burger King.
Scotland Camp Update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction. Delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Obviously, we know the last 2 tournaments haven't gone the way that we wanted the tournament to go. We have another chance. It's great to be here, but we also want to do something special.
Getting off to a good start in the first game is hugely important against Haiti. And,
playing for your country's that step above, and to do it at a World Cup is just a dream come true for all of us.
The waiting is over. Up to McGinn! Deflected in! It's Super John McGinn! It's Scotland's first goal at a World Cup for 28 years!
It's nearly bawling my eyes out.
Scotland have returned to the World Cup with a win!
I've never been to a World Cup. I've waited 62 years to be at a World Cup. I've been in football 44 years. This for me is everything.
Van Diaz has passed his man, chips it in! Oh, it's a fabulous goal! Liam Ismail Sabani was at the edge of the ball.
Come on, Jason, be honest. When that Scotland goal went in, that McGinn goal went in against Haiti, your heart was beating a bit faster, wasn't it? You were smiling inside.
No. They've done well. I said well done. They got their first goal in 3 decades, whatever it is. Well done. Congratulations to them. Don't want to go through, Jeff. Can't help it. Can't help it, mate.
Well,
I'm English, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. But
I'm not Scottish.
Yeah, but look, a lot of the players in Scotland play in the English games. So you've got to feel a bit of an allegiance to them, mate. You've got to feel a bit of...
How many Scottish fans want England to do well?
There'll be some.
No, there's not. Unless they're married to an English.
There'll be some.
Unless they're married to an English, they've got a partner. I don't. Yeah.
Anyway, Scotland up against Morocco this evening. You know what? The Euros got battered by Germany in the first game, came back and got a draw against Switzerland. Remember that in the second game? And that would do tonight. A draw against Morocco, that would do. Live right here on talkSPORT, kicking off at 11. Our very own traffic cone wearing Shabana Hearn is following the team throughout the tournament, and she's been asking these fans for their predictions.
Are we winning against Morocco?
Yeah, I think so. 2-0. John McGinn and probably Shankland's due to score a goal, I think.
Very confident.
You're confident against Morocco?
I think we'll take at least a point off of them. McTominay scoring first goal.
5-1. What else you want me to say? It's 4-1, 3-1, 2-1, 5-1, that's it. McTominay.
2-1 Scotland. 2-0 Scotland.
3-0 Scotland. 1-0 Scotland.
1-1, third place.
Oh.
Third place will be fine.
Third place is perfect.
Absolutely fine.
They're going to finish third.
So
depends if they've got negative goal difference or not, and how many points. Simple as that.
Oh, look, less than 5 hours to kick off. I'm delighted to say that Shaban joins the show live from Boston. Hi, Shaban.
Hey, Shaban.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jason. Good to see you. Oh, God. See, hearing those packages and hearing the fans speaking to talkSPORT, it just gets you that butterflies in your stomach. You feel that bit nauseous way, but as soon as you get in there and you hear Flower of Scotland, you can't help but believe that we're going to do this, that we've got the opportunity to do something really special.
Shaban, important question. Where's it gone? Where's the traffic cone gone?
Jeff, I just took it off. My head's in bits. Honestly, I've got like cut marks around my scalp. My extensions are hurting me, Jeff. I had to get the cone off. But somebody came up to me earlier on with this cute little tiny cone that he had delivered to him from Amazon, and he was walking around wearing it, and I nearly very much so said, can I have that? But he was really proud of it. And I mentioned to Jason just earlier on, it's no exaggeration when I tell you that every statue in Boston now has a traffic cone on its head. They've really taken that into their own arms as well, which is very cute.
Amazing. Yeah, the trap. You wore it well, Shaban, I have to say.
In the words of the Rod Stewart song.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did.
You wear it well.
You pulled off. Shaban, what's Clarkey going to do tonight? I think that we've discussed this. It feels he's a pragmatist but certainly by the way that he managed.
Yeah.
And I think this is the game to be a pragmatist. I think this is the game that you need to go in there, respecting what Morocco have got. As we said, a point's going to be enough. You'll get through. What will he do in the midfield, though? That's the question. He'll play a 3. Is it a 3-4 or is it a 3-5?
Yeah. I think 5.
Right.
I think it might be 5. My only thing is that we don't know until the team news come out if Scott McKenna's going to be there, and he has been our doubt since we arrived in Charlotte, since we got to base camp. He did appear for open training with the squad, 26 men, 2 days ago. Yesterday, he was in the squad the day before he wasn't, so he's kind of been there on his own programme there again. So whether he's part of it tonight, we'll have to wait and see. I would like to think from seeing him twice in open training this week that he's in a better position, and maybe he missed open training day before yesterday just to do his own programme and maybe offload and all that kind of stuff. But either way, I mean, Grant Hanley, Clarkey trusts him. He loves Grant Hanley. He really, really does. But I think if we have Scott McKenna available tonight, I think it will be 5 at the back.
Whatever the formation, whatever the starting lineup, though, Shaban, I think Steve's naturally cautious, isn't he? Is it going to be a cautious approach?
Yeah. Jeff, he was different yesterday. He was in his press conference. He's been in open media all week. He comes up, he says, all right, how's it going? He's chatting away to everyone. He's smiling. He's, having the crack. You can tell he's in good form. Yesterday when he appeared at the Boston Stadium to do his press conference, there was already a different side of Steve Clarke. And for me, I'm thinking he's going to approach this with a lot more caution. And you know what? He's got us here. We've got to give him his credit for that. It's been Steve Clarke who's got us to 3 major tournaments, our first World Cup in nearly 30-odd years, and our first win at a World Cup since 1990, the year that I was born. So whatever Steve does, I'm actually going to trust it. And it would be lovely to go and get something against Morocco. But at the same time, What are they ranked number 8th in the world? They are an excellent team. We've seen from their first game the quality that they've got, but I think we just have to believe that we are a good side. We deserve to be there, and if we can just take our chance when we get them, be smart in possession, then you never know. I mean, really the beauty of it is that you never know. But what I will say is that when you're in about the Tartan Army, when you're amongst this group of people, these fans, I've seen more Scottish people in Boston than I've ever seen in Scotland, by the way. It's crazy. Everybody's here. Everyone from all over Scotland is here in Boston. When you're about that and you're in amongst that company, you can't help but believe that we've got something special and that maybe this could be your time to, you know, just nick a point and then we're all back through to the round of 32, which has never been done.
I think you're right. I think you need to trust Stevie Clarke, Shaban, and he's got you there. And you know, and you know, we saw the subs that Tuchel made the other night, right? And everyone's questioning about Declan Rice coming off. He had a niggle. That was the only explanation that I could come up with. But when you get to this stage, I think you've got to trust he knows the players. He knows what he would have thought about this. By the way, we all expected Scotland to win the first game. We also all expected Brazil to win the first game as well. And now the conundrum's changed slightly. You know, the fact that it was a draw between those two, I think obviously you top the group right now, and he will have a plan, and you've got to go in there. He's paid the big bucks to get these sort of decisions right.
Yeah, and we have to trust that whole process. What's interesting as well is that any player who we've spoken to, any player who started the game the other night, who finished the game the other night, who's not stepped foot on the pitch yet, all trusts Steve Clarke's process. They all love his man management as well. You know, sometimes he can appear a little bit cold. He's not there to, you know, be friends with anyone. I kind of like that as well. I like that from our Scotland manager. But at the same time, everybody has the utmost respect for him and they know where they stand for him. So I think whoever gets on that pitch tonight, it seems they will give absolutely everything and more, not just for the badge, not just for the country, not just for the fans, but for Steve Clarke. So whatever he does tonight, we trust the process. We have to.
Yeah.
Shaban, I hope you have a fantastic night. I really do, and all the best to Scotland.
Well, you know.
Cheers, Jeff.
Enjoy. I hope you enjoy
Cheers,
it.
guys.
Yeah. Cheers, Shaban.
Bye, Shaban. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Come on, Scotland! Bye, guys.
That was a Scotland camp update, all thanks to Burger King.
Scotland Camp Update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Jamie says, completely agree with Jason. Scottish and Welsh fans are desperate for England to lose, so why would we want them to win?
No, it's fair. It's fair enough. I think it's all fair game. The gloves are off. It's fair game. It's how it should be as well. Rivalry is a healthy thing, Jeff.
Shay says, evening, Jeff and Jason. England will make the World Cup final and Scotland will get to the semis. Shay, I'm having whatever you're drinking at the moment. And James says, could Jeff wear and fill 2 mini traffic cones like Madonna's bra? No, James. No, I don't think so.
What a thought. Get in the way of the mic, Jeff.
It's a pretty bad thought.
You'll be whacking the mic everywhere, mate.
Hey, but believe you me, mate, I don't need much more there. I've already got quite a bit.
Jeff,
Far too much.
Come on.
You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live. We're talking about that in great detail on yesterday's show about whether or not he should start, how much game time he should have. Because he's Cristiano Ronaldo, I think there's so much pressure on the manager, Roberto Martinez, to pick him, to start him, etc. What's your view on a situation like that? What do you do, Rio?
Well, Roberto Martinez is paid the money to make this decision, and I think it's the way that he handles that, it will be key. I think if he was going to attempt to kind of take Cristiano Ronaldo out of the team, I think it's all about the narrative. I think it's all about approaching him and going, listen, if he thinks this is how I'll do it. We've got a better chance of winning it for you coming on with 30 minutes to go when the opposition are tired, when their limbs are all weary, lactic acid is building up in all these players' legs, and they see Cristiano Ronaldo warming up on the side, and you come on and terrorise them and capitalise on that in the latter stages of the games. Do you think anyone's going to be bothered when you lift that trophy as our captain? No. So here we go. You're going to start some games, but then some you're not going to start, but that's part of the plan. And at 41 years old, I'm sure that Cristiano would understand that because, listen, we all know, Benny, you're the same. When we were getting older, things weren't working as quickly, as smoothly as they once were. But there's no denying the guy's potent. When the ball drops in the box, if you had three players to the top three players in the world for the ball to drop to, he'd be one of the guys you wanted to drop to even still now because he's that potent. He's got almost 1,000 goals. But listen, if it was down to me, I think I would take that same approach I just mentioned there. I'd pull him in and out of games depending on the opponents. And I'd just have to make sure that I talk to him and make sure he understands that. But one thing I would say when I watched him, I think a lot of blame and a lot of people are pointing the finger at Cristiano. I don't think the actual service into him was great either, by the way, or an opportunity to put his way often. I saw quite a few options to play the ball forward, didn't take them options up. And I think if you're going to have him in your team, you've got to find him as often as you can. And they've got great players who can do that.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
You're a good soldier, choosing your battle.
22 minutes past 6, you're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling and Jason Cundy. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app. Jamie's a Spurs fan, Jason. He says, Scotland are like your little brother. You don't care if they do well, but you love it when they fall flat on their
Oh, yeah. And they're the same thing. You know, the Scotland fans can't wait for us to fall flat in their face, and it's going to happen. Probably. Almost certain. You never know. But they're waiting, Jeff. They'll be waiting to have a pop at me when England get knocked out. Don't worry about that, mate.
Still to come, we'll be hearing what Kyle Walker told us about Jude Bellingham on Drive yesterday. But just quickly, Harry Kane said singing Wonderwall with the fans following England's win over Croatia was one of his favourite ever moments. Burnley are reported to be stepping up their attempts to make Wales boss Craig Bellamy their new manager, and former Man United and England defender Rio Ferdinand joined the breakfast show this morning. He was asked what Portugal should do with his former teammate Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, Roberto Martinez is paid the money to make this decision, and I think it's the way that he handles that it will be key. I think if he was going to attempt to kind of take Cristiano Ronaldo out of the team, I think it's all about the narrative. I think it's all about approaching him and going, listen, if he thinks this is how I'll do it. We've got a better chance of winning it for you coming on with 30 minutes to go when the opposition are tired, when their limbs are all weary, lactic acid is building up in all these players' legs, and they see Cristiano Ronaldo warming up on the side, and you come on and terrorise them and capitalise on that in the latter stages of the games. Do you think anyone's going to be bothered when you lift that trophy as our captain?
Yeah, and Jason, I completely take his point about Ronaldo coming on later in the game. But is it a dereliction of duty from Roberto Martinez to include him in the starting lineup every single game, and indeed leave him on the pitch for 90 minutes.
Well, listen, he's the paid manager. That's his job. Now, I don't know the dynamics between him and Cristiano Ronaldo, but managers have got to make tough decisions, and sometimes you've got to leave out players because it's for the benefit of the team, and that's his job. Now, he's leaving in after this World Cup. He's taken over. He's going to manage Cristiano Ronaldo when he actually goes over. So that dynamic is another thing. But look, he's got to be true to himself. Forget how brilliant he's been as a footballer. What's the best thing for Portugal? What is the best thing? We saw Pep Guardiola, right? Phil Foden. Phil Foden is a super player, right? 2 years ago, he's player of the season. Fast forward 2 years. If you're not doing it for me, he'll make big decisions, and he'll leave out players that a lot of fans feel should start. That's his job. That's what he's paid for.
But Cristiano Ronaldo fans, are a lot of them out there, they'll tell you he's still scoring big goals for Portugal. He still scores some big goals for Portugal.
Yeah.
And if you didn't want to look at Brazil, I mean, Carlo Ancelotti, a man of Carlo Ancelotti's status, yet included Neymar in the squad.
Yeah, I don't get that either, though. I don't understand that. How João Pedro's not made the squad it's that might come back to bite him on the backside. So he's made that decision. That's fine. You live and die by your decisions. That's what you're paid for. You paid the big bucks. You're the manager. Carlo Ancelotti is one of the greatest managers this world's ever seen. If he gets that wrong by bringing in Neymar, I don't think Ancelotti has done that to keep anyone happy. I don't know why he's done it, but for his own reasons, and someone will have to ask him. But if he continues to play Cristiano Ronaldo and he doesn't score and things don't happen and Portugal don't win, look, they drew against Congo. They can't carry on. He's got to get him out of the group.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll see. So sometimes decisions got to be made, and it's how big a decision that Martinez can make.
Yeah. By the way, we're taking your calls, Scotland fans. You confident ahead of playing Morocco tonight? 03717 2233 44. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. Ronaldo would benefit himself, wouldn't he? Benefit himself by coming on in the last 15 minutes or so when the opposition are knackered.
But that's Roberto Martinez's decision, not Ronaldo's. He can't tell Martinez I'm going to play. It's the other way round.
Yeah, I get that completely. But within Portugal, he's a god, isn't he? So it takes whether you're the man in charge or not, it takes a lot of bottle to make that decision.
I don't think it does. Do you? I mean, he's the manager.
I do, because if you leave him out, you lose the game.
Well, he played him. They drew.
Yeah, well, I know. But had he left him out of that game and they'd drawn, Martinez would have been hung, drawn, and quartered.
Right, and he played him and they drew.
Yeah.
The next game is absolutely enormous. You cannot put a price on how big this next game is for Portugal. He's got to get it. It's got to be for the benefit of the team. It's not about one individual. But look, I still give, if Ronaldo gets a chance in and around that penalty area, he'll finish it. He's the greatest goal scorer I've ever seen. But can he do it? Build-up play, support play, link-up play. What's it about? That's the decision. That's down to Martinez.
Yeah. Yep. Big issue as far as Portuguese fans are concerned. Should Cristiano Ronaldo start for Portugal or not? I think the consensus outside of Portugal is definitely not. Consensus within Portugal is, probably yes.
Well, okay, what would Tuchel do?
Well, I don't know.
Tuchel makes big decisions. He's
taken Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, but he left.
And I'm a big Jordan Henderson fan.
He left Cole Palmer behind and left Foden.
But he's taken Jordan Henderson probably knowing he's not going to play.
Yeah, but I think that there's some merits in that. Jordan Henderson, he's played in 6 major tournaments. Yeah. 3 Euros, 3 World Cups.
Why didn't you just take him as part of the coaching staff then?
No, well, he's not a coach. Can't make a job up for him.
Yeah, well, I know, but the chances are he's not going to play, or any time that he does play, he's going to play a minor role, isn't he?
But I think we've got to understand that his standards that he has set, he's won everything in the game, Champions League captain, winning Premier League captain. The standards that he will drive in training, if the standards drop, he'll drive those standards for. I get why he's taken him. I also understand the argument where people are saying, why have you taken him? He's not a cheerleader. He ain't a cheerleader. He is there to make sure standards remain as high as they possibly can. This is his seventh tournament, Jeff. And I don't know how many other England players have gone to major tournaments. 7, Jeff.
And he was written off before he arrived back at Brentford. And I thought he was fantastic, particularly first half of the season for Brentford. Real standout for them. And clearly his influence had rubbed off on Brentford. So I get that's what Thomas Tuchel wants. But you say he couldn't make up a job for him. Well, why not? Why not?
You can't make him. You can't have him a coach. He's a paid professional footballer. You can't. I mean, imagine that. You're saying Henderson come as a coach. Imagine that. Imagine how degrading that would be. No, I'm a professional footballer. I've won everything in the game I can possibly win in the leagues I've played at, and I understand where he's taking him. I also get the argument: when is he going to play? Kobe Mainoo might not play.
I don't think Jordan Henderson would find that degrading at all. I think Jordan Henderson would think, well, yeah, at my age, not been playing that much football, I think it's fantastic still to be.
No, he's a player. He's a footballer. That's his job.
If he doesn't play over there, how frustrating.
Jeff, imagine if I asked you, right? Imagine if I said to you, right? I said to you, right, Jeff, I want you to produce the sports bar, right? No, I'm a presenter. No, it's a great show, Jeff. Come on, mate. Come and produce the sports bar with me.
Yeah.
And we go, no, hold on. I'm a presenter. I'm not doing that. I'm better than that.
Yeah.
Jordan Henderson is going there. This is his 7th major tournament. He will drive standards. And he's also one of those, he knows he's not going to play every single minute. He knows that. And he's one of those, he'll be a happy camper. He'll go there and he'll work hard. He understands his role. He gets his role. And he will, and I understand why Tuchel's taken him. I don't think we should get too hung up on that one. Do you want to produce a sports bar, by the way, Jeff?
No, I'll tell you what.
What are you doing next week?
Many years ago, when I was trying to get a job at Sky, I got a call from Sky, and they said to me, how's your tennis knowledge? And I thought, coming up to Wimbledon, that sounds great. Yeah. Love tennis, done Wimbledon many years, things like that. They said, would you come in and do the logging of Wimbledon? Now, logging, for anybody who doesn't know, is a very junior job where you watch games and you just make notes of everything that happened, first minute this, second game this, third minute that. And I said exactly what you just hinted. I was said, you must be kidding.
Yeah.
I'm a presenter.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not coming to do logging.
No, don't come and log in on the sports bar.
Yeah. Still to come, we'll be hearing what Kyle Walker told us about Jude Bellingham on Drive yesterday. But first, it's time for No Googling. We want to know which club has had at least one player score at the last 14 World Cups in a row. Which club has had at least one player
What league they're playing, Jeff?
at the last 14 clubs in a row? I'll give you the league. You'll get it.
I mean, Real Madrid, then.
I'll give you that. No, you've got the wrong league. We'll give you the answer in a couple of minutes. You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live.
Well, we're talking about Arsenal because the press are talking about Arsenal.
Squeezed Arsenal into a World Cup show.
You're about to hear. Are you Arsenal in disguise? In the Daily Mail. Yeah, we're going there. We're going there.
Who's written that? Is that you? Is that by Laura Coke-Francis?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's my first line in the Daily
well
Mail.
Done. Congratulations.
The Nation joins Gunners fans in praise of Rice's corners.
Oh, come on. This is... Benty and I were out hobnobbing with the Rich and Famous last night, or maybe Rich and Shameless, and we were talking to Piers Morgan.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And he asked the same question about Declan Rice's corners, and I'm like, he's just taking the corner, the fella.
Mate, no.
I love Declan. You know that.
Hey,
but unless you've got Harry Kane running onto it, a corner's only as good as the finish.
No, look at Arsenal been doing all season, and people have criticised us for that.
You just bullied goalkeepers, just smashed goalkeepers out of the way.
That's so right. So the hypocrisy here is loud and clear. In the Daily Mail, which I've just messed up there, they're calling it dark arts in praise of the dark arts that England have employed at corners, which we've been very vocal about.
We're not doing those corners at the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
Declan's doing outswingers.
Did you see the amount? So do Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm saying, but when it's an in-swing, everyone's smashing into the keeper. These are outswings. Harry Kane's running onto them.
Now, all the blocks, I saw the blocks the other night, England.
Yeah, so just to be clear, corner's good, but corner's not good when Arsenal do it. In-swing are good, outswing are bad.
Unless Harry Kane's on the end of them,
so safe to say, according to you, and I think I speak on behalf of Arsenal Nation here, I'm not allowing you to enjoy us having corners, if that's all right. So as far as you're concerned, it was 3-2.
I'll speak on
right?
the rest of the nation,
Please do.
right? And I don't like your attitude.
I love it.
Yeah, the hypocrisy.
No, here's what's going to happen.
Yep.
So you, of course, won't remember, and neither will I. But in 1966, when England won the World Cup, right? Jeff Hurst scored 3 and Martin Peters scored the other one. And Bobby Moore lifted it. And West Ham, for years, were like, West Ham won the World Cup. And this is exactly what you're doing now with Arsenal.
It is exactly what we're doing.
Right.
But
Declan Rice took a corner. Now, I love Declan, so I don't want to say this, but out of everyone that played, who got the lowest marks?
You don't believe that?
I don't believe that.
Declan was very good.
I know he was. But it's Harry Kane. It's Jude Bellingham.
The delivery, it's all about...
History back into Scotland tonight in Boston. A win against Morocco takes them into the World Cup knockouts for the first time ever. And captain Andy Robertson says they have the best fans in the world.
They just carry themselves so well, and I think just every city they go in and every people they meet, they just fall in love with them, and that's the biggest compliment I can give them. But, you know, on Saturday they were magnificent for us in the stadium as well, and I know they'll be the same again.
Much to Jim White's dismay, though, Fabian Hurtzler's backing Morocco.
I think that they have really good togetherness in their squad. They played really good AFCON, and now I think they're ranked 7th in the FIFA world ranking list. So I think we have to take them serious, and I'm really impressed by them.
Achraf Hakimi is expected to lead out his team later. Today, French prosecutors have confirmed he will stand trial for rape for an allegation in 2023. Elsewhere, Mary Earps has signed for London City Lionesses, and England winger Emmanuel Faye-Rebozo will start for Exeter in tomorrow's Gallagher Prem final versus Northampton Saints. He's returned less than 3 weeks after jaw surgery after an injury against Leicester Tigers.
You're listening to World Cup Game Day on talkSPORT with me, Jeff Stelling, and Jason Cundy. Following us at 7, Hugh Wozencroft hosts live coverage at the USA against Australia before Scotland play Morocco. Now, a few moments ago, we brought you the final no Googling question of the evening. We asked you which club has had at least one player score at the last 14 World Cups in a row. And Jason, you guessed Real Madrid.
Well, that was the obvious choice, right? So the wrong league.
Yeah, pick another league.
Premier League?
No.
Italian league?
Yay!
Is it? They've not made it to the last 3 World Cups.
Yeah, but...
Okay, so AC Milan?
No. Of course, they've had a player score in the last 14 World Cups in a row. Obviously, not necessarily Italian.
No, of course.
Italian either.
No.
AC Milan, logical guess, but no, it's Juventus.
Juve. Right.
Yeah, and Jonathan David kept that run going with his hat-trick for Canada yesterday.
It's a good stat, that, Jeff.
Brilliant. Yeah, the no Googlings have been brilliant.
It's a good stat, that one.
Stumps on day 3 of the second test between England and New Zealand at the Oval, which must come as a real relief to Joe Root. Watching with talkSPORT, Sam Ellard.
Yeah, I reckon Joe Root's probably going to text his mate Ben Stokes after today and say, please, Stokesy, get yourself back for that third test match next week. A bad day for England, a long day for England when they came out to bat earlier on this morning with Cox and Archer at the crease. There was some hope and confidence that England could get close to New Zealand's first innings total. They didn't. They fell 100 runs short despite a first ever Test 50 from Matt Finisher, finishing unbeaten on 50. So England bowled out for 291, exactly 100 behind New Zealand. England needed quick wickets. They got 2 late. And Conway both went cheaply. Jofra Archer and Josh Tongue in particular. Jofra Archer really good early on. But the day is all about Henry Nicholls only playing in this test match because of Kane Williamson's retirement. And I think it's fair to say he's filling the boots of the New Zealand great. And unbeaten 119. There was some luck. He was dropped on 38. The third wicket partnership was the killer for England from 28 for 2 to 189 for 2. That was a good contribution as well at number 4 from Rachin Ravindra. He was also dropped early on in his innings on 7. James Roux dropping both those chances on debut. The Rachin one in particular, he really should have taken. Bethel in the end got Rachin Ravindra LBW for 76. Nicholls not out at 119. Daryl Mitchell also got the stumps unbeaten on 32. So the end, Jeff, of day 3 of their second test match at the Oval. A bad day for England, who were staring defeat straight in the face. New Zealand 252 for 3, leading England by 352 runs.
Sam, thanks so much, mate. And now, following us from 7, Hugh Wozencroft hosts live coverage of the USA against Australia. Team News is in for that one. Ian Danter has all the details. Dance, it's all about Pulisic, is it?
It is, I'm afraid, Jeff. He is not playing. His calf injury keeps him out of the American side tonight. So that means just one change for Mauricio Pochettino, who brings in Ricardo Pepi, who scored 19 goals for PSV last season, in his place. I can only assume he goes into the same position in that 4-1-2-3 system that they had against Paraguay when they won so convincingly 4-1. So Matt Freese in goal, Alex Freeman, Chris Richards, Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson in the back 4. Then Tyler Adams is the holding midfielder. Mackenzie and Tillman are then the 2 number 8s effectively, with Serginho Dest and 2-goal following Balogun alongside Pepe in that new look front 3. As for the Australians, they make 2 changes. Somewhat surprisingly, Nestori Irankunda from Watford, who played so well in the win against Turkey. He's been dropped by Tony Popovic. Nishan Velupillay comes in on the left-hand side, and Matt Leckie comes in on Australia's right-hand side of midfield for Metcalf. He scored the other goal against Turkey, and that means that Leckie will have played for Australia at 4 World Cups. The young keeper Patrick Beach keeps his place. It's a back 5 for the Aussies of Italiano, Ciacatti, Suter, Burgess and Boss, and then Leckie, O'Neill, Okin Exler and Velupillay across midfield in a 4 behind Norwich City's Mohamed Toure in attack. 8 o'clock kickoff on talkSPORT from Seattle. It is the USA against Australia.
Dan, thanks very much indeed for that. Mauricio Pochettino, Jess, and he said USA can dream without limits. How well could they do?
Well, I went into this World Cup, I wasn't convinced that they were convinced by Pochettino, but that victory that they ran out comfortable winners, impressive performance. I think the crowd will play a part. This is an interesting game, actually. Australia, I didn't expect them to beat Turkey, and they did. So the fact that Australia have gone with a 5 at the back tells me that they're slightly worried in the wider areas. How well can United States do? I mean, they'll get out the group, probably. I don't know, mate. It depends who they're going to play in the latter stages. Yeah. But they've got a brilliant manager, obviously, and they've got the nation behind them. And I think that was important, Jeff, because I'm not convinced that the whole American public are behind this World Cup. They've got their own, the end of the NBA has just happened and all that that behind the scenes. But it's a big game, massive game. If they pick up a point here or get 3 points here, I think we could see American fans get right behind Pochettino.
Yeah, I think they could get on a bit of a roll. That was a big win, and you say you're dead right. Score 4 goals in the opening game of a World Cup. That's the way to get the nation behind you. And obviously, after this World Cup, going to be a lot of discussion.
The thing is, with American sports, Jeff, all their sports, they score loads of points, generally. Football's a low-scoring game. Yeah. And I'm not sure the Americans quite get you can have a 0-0. Yeah. You can't get a 0-0 in basketball. Can't get 0-0 in baseball. Can you?
I don't know.
You can get a 0-0 in baseball. No, you can't. How bad must that game be?
One thing I will tell you.
Okay. Okay, what about gridiron, American football? Can't get a 0-0 there, can you?
Well, you could. Yeah, you could get a 0-0.
Okay, how many 0-0s? Okay, 0-0s.
Don't ask.
Okay, now, Jeff, in the Premier League.
It's a good no Googling question.
In the Premier League, right, you get a 0-0, right? That can be commonplace. I don't know how many you get in the American football. So they're not used to low scoring games.
The American football fans who got to see the US beat Paraguay 4-1, they're going to expect the same.
Yes, exactly. That's my point.
The same this time.
The point I'm trying to make is
4 more goals.
If they don't score, they go, where's the goals?
Yeah, where's the goals? Right, time to go the latest from the England camp now with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
On England's Corner on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Yesterday on Drive, Gabby Bonrahor and I... by the way, Gabby's not feeling too well.
No, sending Gabby
so,
big
Gabby,
kiss.
if you're listening at all, mate, I hope you're on the way to recovery.
I messaged him earlier. He's he's a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, not great. So hope you're feeling better soon, Gabby. So anyway, Gabby and I were joined in the studio by the former England defender Kyle Walker. We asked him if negative press affected his former teammate Jude Bellingham.
I think probably it does. I think probably it does some way, but I don't think you can let it get to you. I think when you're a big football player like that with a name that you've got, obviously you're going to hear and you're going to see. People are going to tell you what people are saying, but you have to take that pressure. You're Jude Bellingham, and you've got that pressure on your shoulder. You're playing for Real Madrid and also representing England in the number 10 jersey, so you've got to deal with it.
We've seen a few months ago, there were journalists saying that he shouldn't be involved because there was reports that Jude Bellingham makes the older players, they're scared to play because he's so much of a character. And I was like, surely Walks, you're a senior player. Jude Bellingham, if he's 18, 19, 20, he's not going to affect the senior pros, is he?
No, I don't think it affects you. You try and play to Jude's strengths, and you try and get him on the ball when he wants to get on the ball. Would anyone want to or don't want to play with Jude Bellingham? Well, you clearly don't want England to win, and I think Jude Bellingham in your team is better than Jude Bellingham not being in your team.
Do some players take press criticism and criticism in public too much to heart?
I think the modern day footballer takes criticism far more seriously than they did in my day. I think that because there's so much of it, Jeff. talkSPORT, Sky, social media. I think that there is so many more platforms, not just for the media, but for fans to have that. And it must be difficult now as a footballer because it comes from all angles. It comes from everywhere. But they're more sensitive now than certainly in my day, I think.
I mean, the old argument is that the media, I include ourselves in that as well, we build them up to knock them down. Is that the case with Bellingham, do you think?
I don't get the criticism of Bellingham. I simply don't get it. I don't know. He has a style and the way that he plays, and there's a confidence about him, and people see it as arrogance. Maybe there is, but he deserves that. Look at him. Look what he's done. He's 22.
Yeah.
He's 22, Jeff.
Yeah.
The boy's not even reached his peak yet.
And look,
embrace what he's got. Come on, love him.
He got a lot of stick in the Euros, and he wasn't great. But then again, nobody else was great either.
No,
but it did seem that Jude was singled out for extra.
He was 20 then.
If you like, yeah.
He's 20. Yeah. Come on. There's criticism as a footballer will always come in one direction because that's the nature of the beast. If you don't perform, you don't play well, you are going to get criticised. It's the level of criticism, and then that criticism borders on. I don't want to use the word hate, but something. There seems to be something about Jude that certain fans and certain people in the media don't quite like. I don't get it. I love the way he is.
Obviously, there was a lot of discussion about whether he would start, whether Morgan Rogers would start. And Morgan Rogers has been brilliant this season. But there isn't a debate any longer, is there, because of the second half that Bellingham had?
Yeah, and Jude has earned the right to be there. But Morgan Rogers is a wonderful footballer. But if you can't have this, if they're both in the same position, you can't have the two of them in the team unless you play Morgan on the left, and that ain't going to happen. He's got Rashford, he's got Gordon out there. That's simply not going to happen. We found it interesting actually when Rice come off. Felt to me as if a little bit that Thomas Tuchel bought time by putting Bellingham back into that position alongside Anderson and then bringing Rodgers on. I think it's the first time they've played together in an England shirt in the same team. And then he made the sub 5 minutes later. And he had thought about it. He put Reece in the middle of the park, put Jed Spence at right back, and he reshuffled his pack.
Yeah. You mentioned Reece James. Just very briefly, What's his best position now? Is he better in the middle of the park than a...
The thing with Reece, he can do so many jobs in so many different... So he can play in a 3, he can play in a 4 as a right back, he can play centre midfield. He's a multi-talented boy, absolutely multi-talented boy. His best position, right back, but if you noticed, he's not a marauding right back because of his hamstrings, and he played slightly more reserved. And most of the attacks came down the right-hand side when Reece went into midfield.
Yeah. I love him, Jason. I absolutely love him.
He's a super player, yeah.
And that was a look at all the latest in the England camp with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're here for it.
On England's Corner on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Talking about Jude Bellingham, because of his talent, because of his ability, Kyle, he's often the focus of attention, isn't he? I mean, tell us, I mean, you've been in the same dressing room as him. What's he like as a person?
No, he's good, and I think he carries a lot of weight on his shoulders for such a young boy. I think people probably forget how young he is. Obviously, he's gone on from leaps and bounds from Birmingham City to Dortmund to now playing for, one of, if not the biggest clubs in the world. But I was saying it before, I think Morgan Rogers is a great player. I play with him at City. He's done unbelievable for Villa. But I just think in them moments, Jude Bellingham probably pips him just because of the big game moments, and last night proved that.
Yeah.
How good is he? Because you've been in training with him, you played with him. Because when we watch him, I just see someone who can score left foot, right foot. I see someone who can get box to box, good in the air. Looks like the complete player.
Yeah, I think, he's an all-rounder. He can tackle, he can defend, he can attack, he scores goals. As you just said, left, right foot, he's got an engine on him. Is he a silky number 10 that we're probably used to seeing in the Premier League? Probably not. He's more of a powerhouse, but, in these conditions that they're playing the World Cup in like this, it could work to our advantage with having him, Declan and, Anderson, that all have good engines on them and then can get up and down the pitch.
Mm. Does it ever get to him, the sort of criticism that he gets, the media attention that he gets?
I think probably it does. I think probably it does some way, but I don't think you can let it get to you. I think when you're a big football player like that with a name that you've got, obviously you're going to hear and you're going to see. People are going to tell you what people are saying, but you have to take that pressure. You're Jude Bellingham. You're Jude Bellingham, and you've got that pressure on your shoulder. You're playing for Real Madrid and also representing England in a number 10 jersey, so you've got to deal with it.
We've seen a few months ago, there were journalists saying that he shouldn't be involved because there was reports that Jude Bellingham makes the older players, they're scared to play because he's.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Oh, no, Jeff. Do you know what, Jeff? They're horrible behind that glass. They are horrible, mate. They are... Look at... Jeff.
That's it, I'm done.
Jeff, do you know what?
I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back for the next 5 days.
That's disgusting, by the way. That's disgusting. That's deliberate. Just get Wonderwall on.
There's a TV advert that uses it now, isn't there, as well? There's I can't remember what it's for now, but there's a TV
Jeff,
with
Jeff.
Meal Diamond on it, you know?
Fact you don't know. See, they're horrible.
It's very...
People don't realise what we got to put up with behind there.
And look, we've got some great listeners, though. You are listening, by the way, to World Cup Game Day Live, if you didn't guess, with me, Jeff Stelling, Jess and Cundy. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. We've got some great listeners. And I knew somebody would immediately be Googling it when you were talking about things that can finish 0-0.
Right, okay.
And Glenn has texted and said, really enjoying today's show. There have been 73 NFL games that have ended 0-0.
In the whole of the history of it?
Yeah. And the last one of those...
100-year history, 73 games?
Yeah, but the last one was November 1943.
Oh, my. Right, okay, so I'm going to claim that one, Jeff. I think that's fair enough.
And in Major League Baseball, there have been 124 scoreless games, but none since 1989.
Right, okay. So I think I'll win that argument then. No? No?
I think it's a score draw. Oh, it's a no-score draw, actually.
It's a 0-0.
0-0.
0-0.
Right, let's get an update from the US Open. Watching with talkSPORT is Gabby Partington. What's happening, Gabs?
Yeah, well, Wyndham Clark, he finished in style with a birdie down the last. A second round 69 moves him to 7 under and gives him a 4-shot lead. Now, this is the lowest 36-hole score ever recorded at Shinnecock Hills in a US Open, so Wyndham has certainly set the bar, hasn't he? Matt Fitzpatrick's also signed off with a birdie, carded a 70 to reach 3 under for the championship and move into a share of second, and that's alongside Xander Schauffele, who remarkably has now finished inside the top 15 at the US Open for the last 9 years. Such a consistent player. Just 11 players under par, so attention now turns to the afternoon wave. So world number 2, Rory McIlroy, gets his second round underway in about 10 minutes' time, starting 6 shots back alongside Ludwig Oberg. Tommy Fleetwood begins today 1 shot further adrift. So the leaders are in, but there's still plenty of start power still to come.
It's going to be a great weekend, Gabby. I'll tell you one thing, though, Gabby. I love the course in many respects and such like, but the bunkers, they'd be out of place on my local municipal. The number of stone turns, there's no sand in some of them.
It's a danger to your clubs, Jeff.
Yeah, well, it certainly is. You know, being in a bunker is a danger to my game, I'll tell you that, at the best of times, with no sand. Thanks, Gabby.
Cheers, thanks so much.
Last word, USA against Australia. How do you see it going then,
Draw.
Jason? Draw?
Going to go draw, mate.
Oh, I think USA...
Go 0-0.
No, I mean, the Australian keeper had a fantastic game against Turkey, but for me, he can't reproduce. He's just a kid. Don't think he'll reproduce that. I think the USA, even without Pulisic...
Overpower him.
2-0, something like that.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. I'll message you, Jeff, when the result comes in.
And I hardly dare ask this. Come on. Now, let's be serious.
3-0 Morocco. Right. Sorry, where were you going to go? 3-0? Yeah. Okay, 4-0.
Oh, God, I don't know. Well, I'm going to go... Scotland 1, Morocco 1.
Okay.
And that'll be good enough. That's good enough for the Tottenham. And they'll be through to the knockout stages, and I'll absolutely love that. And you'll take some unmerciful flack.
That's fine.
You're going to take some unmerciful flack. Scotland get through, you're in deep
Jeff,
deep
they know
trouble,
where I am.
mate.
They can come at me, mate. I don't mind.
Brilliant. Hey, Jess, absolutely,
Jeff, you're a star. Thank you, bud.
absolutely loved it, mate. Just remember, I am not the new O'Hara. Not the new
No one
O'Hara.
wants to be the new O'Hara, mate. No, that's not. No, that's not on their wish list.
Brilliant. Don't forget, we've got live action coming up next then with the USA against Australia. Jason will see you when? Next?
I'm back on Tuesday. England, we've myself and Mr. O'Hara got a Sports Bar special live on the YouTube channel, watching England take on Ghana. Then we take calls from 11:30 right up to 2 a.m.
Yeah. And I'm back sometime, to be brutally honest. I haven't got a clue when. See you soon.
Ria, I've got to speak to you about England and obviously, of course, the result the other day. Really good second half performance. First and foremost, what did you make of the performance? And some people are saying it's the best half of football they've seen England play in years.
Well, what I was really